p.m. to midnight. The Caddy Shack, across from the VF Factory Outlet in Iowa.
Looks like a thunderstorm is brewing, but will the rain ever come? Details at 9.
Davis returns for his 6th season at Miami to hopefully lead his Hurricanes toward a national title. His hopes will rest on the young arm of sophomore Ken Dorsey as a new quarterback dynasty begins for the Hurricanes. But it's not on Dorsey alone. He'll have plenty of help. Senior James Jackson leads a tough ground attack, and he's helped out by the hard-running style of junior Najee Davenport. Heisman hopeful Santana Moss enters the 2000 season as Miami's go-to wideout, but senior Reggie Wayne will give the Canes a threatening 1-2 punch through the air. The heart and soul of Miami's defense is senior middle linebacker Dan Morgan. He leads a band of hard-hitting, ferocious attackers who will strike fear into the minds of all opponents throughout the 2000 season. It's Miami Hurricanes football coming up next on Fox Sports Net. From the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, Fox Sports Net presents University of Miami football. The 5th-ranked Hurricanes represent the Big East as they open the 2000 season, hosting the Cowboys of MCneese State. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Fort. I'll be telling you what's happening. My partner, John Congemi, will tell you why. And, John, it's Y2 Kane. Welcome to Y2 Kane. High expectations for this football team. A lot of it will rest on the arm of sophomore quarterback Ken Dorsey, who thankfully has a little experience from last year, but is the #1 guy now that Kenny Kelly has decided to go baseball full-time. He decided that before spring practice.
Frank, it all starts at the quarterback position for UM, and Ken Dorsey is oozing with confidence. He brings great team leadership and great poise in the pocket. You see his stats from last season, 10 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. You mentioned he only started 3 football games, but he won't look like that when he plays tonight against MCneese State. He has great timing of the pass offense. That's what you look for, leadership from the quarterback.
And the Canes have an embarrassment of riches for Ken Dorsey to dish the ball off to, a stable of great running backs and a tremendous wide receiver corps, led, of course, by a young man who many people think might be a Heisman Trophy candidate. That's the senior Santana Moss.
Santana Moss can actually light you up on the outside. He can score from just about anywhere. You see there, 899 yards catching the football, 6 touchdown catches, but he can beat you on kickoff and returns as well as punt returns. 2 punt returns last season. He runs impeccable routes. He gets in and out of his routes very crisply, and he can do it on anybody in the country. Already up for the Heisman Trophy. This guy can make it hurt.
And for the Hurricanes, a tremendous defense, a veteran group, 8 guys back from last year. Now, the one guy they're missing, Nate Webster at middle linebacker, he's in the NFL. Dan Morgan slides over from the weak side to take Nate's spot in the middle.
The man in the middle, Dan Morgan, number 44. You see his stats there. He's only 112 tackles shy of that top spot in UM history, and there's only one other guy in the 90s that have had 3 seasons of 100-yard tackles. Dan Morgan, make it 100 this year. He'll go for the top spot there, the only person in UM history to do that. He has great speed, and I think it'll be used very wisely from the middle. He also can get to the passer. That's one thing he does great from the middle linebacker position. He will make you pay.
And Dan says he now has opportunities to make plays on both sides of the field as opposed to being limited to one side. It's the Hurricanes against the 1AA team from Lake Charles, Louisiana, MCneese State. We'll have the kickoff from the Orange Bowl right after this.
The Partners in Education are pleased to provide a network of support for teachers and students to enhance educational programs and boost the morale of the students. Citgo is proud to support the Career Center, E.K. Key Elementary, and Sulphur High School in a variety of projects to spark interest and increase student participation. Please help us support Partners in Education. Brought to you by Citgo and Fox 29.
It's the start of the 2000 football season for the Miami Hurricanes. MCneese State won the toss and they deferred to the second half. Miami will receive the opening kickoff. Darryl Jones and Aaron Mosier stand at the goal line as Charlie Hebert kicks it off for the Cowboys. Short kick coming down to Mosier at the 8. Mosier to the 20. Room at the 25 where he's flipped by number 13 covering on special teams, Gerard Jones. And the Hurricanes will start 1st and 10 at about their 31-yard line. Ken Dorsey leading the offense on the field, the sophomore quarterback from Orinda, California. 74 out of 120 last year, a 61.7 completion percentage, 10 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. Canes will start from their 30-yard line is where the officials mark it, and they will start in a 3 wide receiver set with only 1 running back. That is James Jackson, the senior from Belglade. Dorsey to throw. Quick look into Wayne at the 45, and he's brought down at midfield. Arthur Goodley making the tackle for McNeese State, but it's a pickup of 19 yards and a Hurricane first down. Here's a look at the starting lineup for the Miami Hurricanes. Bryant McKinney, a huge newcomer, junior college transfer, redshirted last year. He gets the important left tackle spot. Santana Moss, we talked about in the open, one of the more dynamic players in college football. James Jackson, hoping for an injury-free senior year, gets the start at tailback. Will McPartland now in at fullback for the Canes as they go with the standard I set on 1st and 10 from midfield. Movement along the line. Dorsey quick out to Wayne. He catches it at the McNeese 45 and is immediately brought down by Bruce Bolden, number 38, playing the right corner position. Here is the McNeese State defense. They play a 4-2-5. Only 2 linebackers. Jake Morrison, their best defensive lineman. The 2 linebackers are Duhan and Archie, who had 46 tackles last year, and the 5 secondary men, Arthur Goodley, the man who just made the tackle, 65 tackles and 2 sacks from a year ago. The penalty was offside on McNeese State.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay
Canes will accept the penalty. It was a 5-yard gain on the play, but they will save the down by accepting the penalty. That moves it to the McNeese State 45. And it's 1st and 5 for Miami. Just underway, first quarter. A look at Tommy Tate in his first year as head coach of the Cowboys, a 20-year assistant, also played for McNeese State. So he is a Cowboy lifer. On 1st and 5, Jackson with his first carry. He'll pick up 3 or 4. Bruce Bolden again up to make the tackle from the secondary. It'll bring up 2nd and about 2 for the Hurricanes.
Frank, already Miami's come out 3 plays on offense, 3 different sets. You see the 3 wide receivers on the first down pass on the quick slant to Andre King, and then you see Jackson off the left side with the twins to the wide side. Potentially a lot of big plays on offense for Miami just because of the style of defense that Butch Davis's offense will face tonight.
2nd and 2 from the McNeese 42-yard line. From the I formation and 3 wide receivers. Dorsey, play faking. Dorsey, deep down the right sideline. Santana Moss all alone at the 20-yard line. Driven out of bounds at the 18. That is a Miami first down. Eric Chapman, number 23, and Arthur Goodley, number 30, combining on the tackle. Let's take another look.
Frank, it's going to be pitch and catch for Miami on the outside. You see Ken Dorsey, after the play fake, waits for Santana Moss to break out on the outside route, the corner route. Just a 2-man pattern outside, but just with sure speed and ability on the outside. Clearly, no one within 5 yards. Watch Santana break it outside off of the route of Reggie Wayne. He clears out deep. Santana goes underneath and makes a tiptoe dance down the sideline. First down, Canes.
1st and 10 Miami at the McNeese 18-yard line. This is Jackson skipping to the outside. Jackson to the 10. James still going, lost the football. Big pile up at the 3-yard line. And we'll wait for the officials to unscramble it.
Looks like he got it back, Frank.
There's a Hurricane sitting on the football. The officials are looking at the wrong part of the pile. It is Miami football. And it was Jackson. You're right, John. Got it back at the 2-yard line. Take another look from down low. A big hole created by the blocking of Robert Williams and Andre King, the wide receiver, but Jackson, as he reached the 5-yard line, got stripped.
And just an incredible job getting the football back. You see 2 McNeese State players, defenders, miss the football. It gets kicked back into James Jackson's arms. It's 1st and 10 Canes inside the 5.
Look at Jackson's numbers from a year ago. Canes with a 1st and goal. Double tight end formation. Only 1 wide receiver in the lineup. McPartland in motion. Give to Jackson. Tried to cut back inside. Met in the hole, and he'll go down back at the 7-yard line for a loss of nearly 5 yards. Jerry Evans finishing up on the tackle after there was nothing in the hole. They're going to give him forward progress to the 5-yard line, so call it a loss of 3.
Yeah, that time the right side of the Miami offensive line didn't get it done. Romberg, Bibla, and Joaquin Gonzalez on the right side. You see there should be a hole to the outside. James Jackson decides to bust it inside, and you see J.B. McNutt. He was the first one there making contact, number 79, and then Jerry Evans, number 50, brings him down for the Cowboys.
2nd and goal for the Canes. Ivan Mercer, the tight end, in motion. Dorsey looking to the end zone, firing, incomplete. Going for Robert Williams, and Gerard Jones, number 13, broke up the play in the end zone. So the Canes will face a 3rd and goal, and they'll send Santana Moss and Andre King back into the ball game. Give Jones credit for a nice breakup.
Well, it was really broken up in the backfield. You see there, the defender, number 9, Hadley Prince, gets in the face of Will McPartland, threw off the timing to the tailback. That time Ken Dorsey had to force the football upfield to the tight end, incompletion.
3rd and goal for the Canes. 12:15 left to go first quarter. Scoreless at the Orange Bowl. Dorsey, fade pattern for Wayne in the end zone. Caught it. Touchdown Miami. Ken Dorsey, 5 yards to Reggie Wayne, and a perfect throw over the coverage of Bruce Bolden.
Ken Dorsey on the money early in this evening. Perfect fade pattern in the corner of the end zone. Reggie Wayne, all he had to do was sprint to the corner of the end zone. Great air underneath the football by Ken Dorsey. Watch Dorsey, just a quick 1, 2, 3, gets the ball up in the air. He has great timing, but look at the spot he puts the football, Frank. Nobody can defend that pass. A great pitch and catch by Miami. 6 points for the Hurricanes.
That is Santana Moss, the other wide receiver, part of the great Hurricane receiving combination, as Todd Sievers, out of the hold of Aaron Mosier, converts his first point as a Miami Hurricane. Sievers, the new kicker, replacing the graduated Andy Crossland. And with 12:11 left to go in the first quarter, Miami has a 7-0 lead. They went 7 plays, 70 yards, taking 2:49 off the clock. It's the Canes 7, McNeese State 0.
How strong are Billy Navarre's volume prices? Well, Billy Navarre is the largest Chevrolet dealer in the state of Louisiana, outselling Lafayette, Baton Rouge, and even New Orleans. And right now, it's closeout time. Billy Navarre's prices are the lowest of the year. You'll save $2,000 on every red tag vehicle, $3,000 on every white tag, $4,000 on every blue tag, and $5,000 on every gold tag. And with over 500 closeout 2000s to sell, we'd have to sell for less. It's an all-out year-end price war at Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Lake Charles or Sulphur.
Is Beauregard Electric committed to the communities they serve?
Beauregard Electric is partners in education with 4 schools in 3 parishes. We've sent high school students to Washington, D.C. through the Youth Tour Essay Contest for 20 years. We have awarded 31 scholarships over the last 6 years. Beauregard Electric offers safety education to schools, organizations, and area festivals. And you bet, Beauregard Electric is committed to our communities. And did I mention, our offices are still in town.
Miami Hurricanes football on Fox Sports Net is being brought to you in part by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done. Call 1-800-NEXTEL-9. By Office Depot, taking care of business. And by Mercedes. Visit your South Florida Mercedes-Benz Center today. Welcome back to the Orange Bowl as you look at Todd Sievers, the sophomore out of Ankeny, Iowa, just converted his first extra point as a Miami Hurricane, taking over a position that was often criticized by Hurricane fans last year, and hopefully Sievers will be a bit more consistent. The kickoff as Jermaine Martin and Aaron Pierce await deep. This is Martin at the goal line. Martin breaks free at the 20. Martin to the sideline, tripped up, and he almost broke it. Sievers was in the area, but Jermaine Martin returning it out to the 35-yard line of McNeese State. There is the quarterback, Slade Nagel, a 6', 200-pound sophomore from right in Lake Charles, Louisiana. His numbers from last year, he was 4-1 as a starter for the Cowboys as he took over the starting position midway through the season and rallied McNeese to a 6-5 record total. 35-yard kick return by Jermaine Martin, and the Cowboys have it 1st and 10 at their 35. 3 wide receivers in the formation. Jesse Burton, the lone running back. That's a give to Martin. The wide receiver coming around to the 40 to midfield. Tripped up by Edward Reed, but Jermaine Martin has 11 yards and a first down. Here's a look at the Cowboys offense. Along the offensive front, they are led by Wes Hines out of Baytown, Texas. A senior, 313 pounds. Jimmy Redmond, a transfer after 2 years at Ohio State, is their best wide receiver returning from a year ago. And Burton once had 7 touchdowns in a single game against school from Utah. I believe it was Southern Utah.
Yeah, I think so, Frank.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Darren Ostolet now in the game at fullback, joining Jesse Martin in the backfield. That's Martin with his first carry. He breaks through the midfield where Dan Morgan and Chris Campbell combined on the tackle after a gain of 4 yards, bringing up 2nd and 6. Here's a look at the Canes defense. Damian Lewis, the All-American candidate, senior out of Sulphur Springs, Texas, the leading sacker from a year ago with 6.5. Dan Morgan slides to the middle. Ken Dangerfield gets the start in place of Chevin Marshall, who is experiencing some discomfort in his neck, an old injury from last year. And Mike Rumpf, who is just a stellar corner, the junior out of Delray Beach, in a veteran secondary. 2nd and 6 for McNeese State. They operate out of the shotgun. Nagel motioning Ostolet. Nagel's first throw under pressure, delivers over the middle, complete to the tight end. That's George Thompson at the Miami 44-yard line. And he will have enough for a Cowboy first down. Nice. So McNeese coming out moving the football, John.
Nice opening series by McNeese State. Take a look. Nagel did a great job there getting to George Thompson, the tight end. He hung in the pocket. Damian Lewis right on him. He hung tough in the pocket, delivered the football. 1st and 10. What you notice, Frank, is the team speed on both sides. Miami outside with Moss and King and Reggie Wayne. Same way for the Cowboys. Redmond on the outside and Martin on the other side. Great team speed.
1st and 10 for McNeese from the Miami 43. Burton on the delay. Got a little bit of a crease and got to the 40-yard line. Damian Lewis there, along with Ken Dangerfield, number 47. Dangerfield, the sophomore from Patterson, Louisiana, making his first Hurricane start. 6'2", 225-pounder. Give Burton a gain of 3 on that play. It'll be a 2nd and 7 with 10 minutes and 11 seconds left to go first quarter. Miami with a 7-0 lead over McNeese State. But the Cowboys have come back with a nice kick return to their 35 and 2 consecutive first downs. Good look at Dangerfield, who the coaches call the Beast. He is put together. Out of the shotgun on 2nd and 7. Nagel to Burton on a delay. Burton will pick up 4 yards. Chris Campbell there on the tackle for the Miami defense. A junior linebacker out of Mount Pleasant, Texas. Gain of 4. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Cowboys.
Dan Morgan did a nice job of forcing Burton to the outside. And you see number 48, Chris Campbell, in on the stop. Quick feet by Burton, eludes Morgan the first time, and then Morgan comes back and gets an assist. But Campbell was there on the outside. Had a great summer camp. Take a look right at the middle of your screen. 21 bouncing outside because unblocked is Dan Morgan coming up the middle. But you see there Chris Campbell coming in from the strong side linebacker position, making a punishing tackle for this Hurricane defense.
3rd and 3 for McNeese out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers in the formation. Nagel, quick slant pass is tipped and incomplete. Chris Campbell broke it up, and that'll bring up 4th down. Campbell got right in the passing lane, John.
Well, offensive guys always tease. That's why you play defense, because if you caught the ball, you'd be on the other side of the football. But Chris Campbell had great anticipation. This quick slant by Nagel on the outside. Great anticipation, just didn't look it in. Maybe the ball was thrown a little hard, but did a great job. That's the key for Greg Schiano's defense tonight, Frank. As we mentioned earlier, he wants to make sure people are in the right spots on this defense. That time, Chris Campbell in the perfect spot.
Again, on 4th and 3, they will go for it. Obviously, McNeese State with nothing to lose in a game like this. Nagel flips it out, complete to Burton, and Burton taken down by Dangerfield right at the first down marker. It's going to depend on the spot. Dangerfield got out there quickly, but was it enough to prevent the first down?
Looked like just a rub or a pick play on the outside. Number 2, Jermaine Martin coming on the inside, and then the tailback, Jesse Burton, to the outside. Very close. It looks like they end up getting it by half a ball, Frank. But Jesse Burton, you see last season 4 touchdowns on the year, and here's the measurement.
And McNeese will have the first down. John, you were wrong. It was almost the full length of the football.
That's right. First time this season.
Well, Tommy Tate's team racking up their 3rd consecutive first down and moving the football on the Hurricanes. It was a rainy afternoon in South Florida. Heavy showers throughout the afternoon, but it looks like a pretty good track. This Orange Bowl field drains very well. 8:57, and the clock now moving again here in the first quarter. McNeese with a 1st and 10 at the Hurricane 33-yard line. Ostolet and Burton set up behind Nagel in the eye. Redmond in motion. Burton with the football. Burton finds a hole. Burton down to the 25 to the 23-yard line. Leonard Myers coming up along with Dangerfield and Reed combining on the tackle. Morgan also got a piece, but that is a pickup of 9 yards, just shy of a first down. And John, the defensive line for Miami is getting pushed around just a little bit.
Well, they're going backwards. Credit to White Hudler, number 65, the left guard from McNeese State. He provided leadership up front. Great block on the Canes up front. As you said, Frank, this Miami defensive 7, right now they're going backwards, and McNeese State has some speed. They have some talent up front, doing a nice job putting this first drive of the game together.
They determined it was a first down by Burton, so credit him with a gain of 10. First and 10 from the 23. Redmond again in motion. Burton again with the football, and again he cracks through. And Burton's still going inside the 5. Burton to the goal line, touchdown! A touchdown for McNeese State on a 23-yard run by Jesse Burton, who just refused to be brought down.
Sure will gets Jesse Burton into the end zone. You see the sidelines for McNeese State, very excited, and deservedly so. They should be. Just a great drive from that kickoff return. They get great instant field position, and watch the individual effort and the blocks up front. He breaks 1, 2. You seen it right there. Number 22, Leonard Myers, instead of going for the tackle, tries for the strip. Al Blades trying to get in on the tackle, but no one could keep Jesse Burton out of the end zone for the Cowboys.
Hebert on to try the conversion out of Matt Gore's hold. Kick is down and away, and it is good. And with 8:12 left to go in the first quarter, McNeese State has come back to tie up this football game. It's Miami 7, McNeese State 7. A beautiful 65-yard drive from the Cowboys, 9 plays. It took 3:59, and we're tied at 7 from the Orange Bowl.
There's nothing going on here tonight. Ever notice if you rub your eyes for a while, you start to see little stars and stuff? You see?
No, I don't see anything.
You gotta rub harder.
Red dots, okay? Is that what I'm... This is great.
Wait. You see it?
Oh, yeah.
I got flashes.
Whoa. I see blurry blobs. 2 of them.
Ooh, lightning.
It's like a French painting.
Big night out.
Tiny amoebas marching together.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
It's on me, guys.
Thanks. See, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Summertime, summertime.
That's right, it's summertime hot out, folks, and so are the deals at Lake Charles Toyota. So come see us for sizzling summer savings on all our inventory. We got a great selection and low prices like 2000 Camry CEs with air, automatic, power windows and locks, just $17,495. Or 2000 Celica stock number 2314 for just $17,995. So don't go walking that sizzling sidewalk. Come to Lake Charles Toyota for sizzling summer saving specials. So get a hot deal on some cool wheels and spend the rest of your summertime chilling out.
The college football season is underway and the excitement has started, and you have an exclusive pass to an in-depth inside look at what's coming up with your favorite Florida college teams when you tune in at 10 o'clock for the Saturday morning college kickoff show. Join our experienced team of anchors and reporters as they highlight Florida college football. Start your morning off right with Saturday morning college kickoff, Saturdays at 10 o'clock only on Fox Sports Net. Look at some of the crowd here in the Orange Bowl. A very nice crowd when you consider that it is McNeese State, not exactly a major draw, but the Hurricanes sold single-game tickets to Florida State along with McNeese State, trying to get some more people in the house. And I'll tell you, the most shocked people in the world right now are the Miami defense, giving up a 65-yard touchdown drive to the Cowboys, which allowed McNeese State to tie the game at 7. Again, the short kick from Hebert. This is Mosier at the 8. Mosier trying to bust outside to the 20. The 23-yard line where he is ridden down. Number 37, Joe Judge, on the special teams tackle for McNeese State. And the Canes will have the football for the second time tonight. Miami opening with a 70-yard touchdown drive. McNeese State answering with a 65-yard touchdown drive. And the disturbing thing, John, is the run defense. I guarantee you the Washington Huskies were looking in and just licking their chops after seeing McNeese State run the football the way they did on Miami. In fact, Burton had 5 carries for 44 yards and the touchdown. First and 10 Miami from their 24. Jackson in the eye behind McPartland. And flags fly and whistle stopped the play as there was movement along the offensive front.
Looked like the left side of the offensive line was moving, Frank, and to tell you the truth, Ken Dorsey's going to have to stay sharp because McNeese State came right back and answered the scoring drive of the Canes. Looks like they can pass at will, but they're going to have to be sharp on the outside.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, replay first down.
8:01 left to go first quarter in a 7-7 game. And Miami has a first-time starter at left guard in Ed Wilkins, who is replacing Greg LaFleur with arthroscopic knee surgery during fall camp. He should be ready for the Washington game. But it's Wilkins, number 72 at left guard, as Butch Davis looks on. And I guarantee you Greg Schiano is the most unhappy guy in the building right now, the Miami defensive coordinator. On 1st and 15, Jackson. Jackson squirts through. Jackson still going up toward the 40 to the 42-yard line, where he's finally brought down by Jake Morrison. But James Jackson has a Miami first down.
Yeah, historically, James Jackson's not the guy that gets you 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He usually rips off runs for about 10 or 15 yards at a clip. You see there, great job by the offensive line outside, getting the corner, the perimeter for James Jackson, and then he's just off to the races on the outside. It's just a foot race after a while. But take a look at this offensive line. Joaquin Gonzalez, you see the tight end there. Mercer does a nice job. Also outside, number 80, also the tight end doing a great job on the outside. The fullback, actually.
Here's Jackson again. He is dragged down from behind by number 30, Arthur Goodley, but Jackson does pick up about 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 5. By the way, the previous run good for 23 yards by James Jackson. Clock moving with 7:22 to go, first quarter here at the Orange Bowl. Frank Fort and John Congemi with you on Fox Sports Net, and say hello to folks watching us in Lake Charles, Louisiana, home of the MCneese State
That's
Cowboys.
Right.
And now the officials stop the clock and have a little discussion out near the midfield area. Well, the one thing you hope for from James Jackson this year, John, is just good health.
That's right.
He was banged up so much last year, still had over 700 yards, but he missed a couple of ball games.
2 seconds to the clock. Clock should read 7:15.
So they're going to reset the game clock. James Jackson, as I was mentioning, 782 yards last year, 9 touchdowns and 13 receptions. But, of course, they had to play Clinton Portis because they lose Najee Davenport for the year in the 4th quarter of the first game. And then Jackson gets nicked up a couple of times. And Miami was down to their 3rd-string running back for a good portion of the middle of the season. But it'd be nice to see James Jackson totally healthy. 2nd and 5 for Miami. Dorsey to throw. Good protection. Firing for his tight end, Ivan Mercer. And incomplete at the MCneese 40-yard line.
Good patience that time by Ken Dorsey. He was waiting for Mercer to clear the tight end. He just wanted him to get there a little bit quicker, and that's what he was telling him coming back to the huddle. Hey, pick it up a little bit, Ivan. Get to that spot because I'm ready to get you the football.
Mercer with good size, 6'7", 245. A junior college transfer, now a senior out of Antelope, California. And he has a tall order in replacing Bubba Franks, the All-American tight end for the Canes, now with the Green Bay Packers. This is a 3rd and a short 5 for Miami from their 47.
Look for Miami to go up top here, Frank.
Blitz coming. Miami picks it up. Pass over the middle. McPartland is caught, but he is dropped immediately at the 49-yard line. Number 42, Jimmy Abram, backup middle linebacker with the big hit, and that held McPartland short of the first down.
And Miami's going to go for it on 4th down, but a nice job filling in Jimmy Abram, the linebacker up front. Just a little dump to the tight end, or to the fullback, and you see there MCneese State Cowboys converge in the middle of the field. Now Butch Davis has changed his mind. He brings on the punt team on 4th down.
Aaron Pierce will go back to receive the punt as Freddie Capshaw stands at the Miami 36. Good snap from Chris Harvey, the new long snapper. Capshaw high and long and into the end zone for the touchback. So a 50-yard punt by Capshaw, but only a net of 30 as the touchback will bring it out to the 20-yard line. 6:29 left to go in the first quarter of play here at the Orange Bowl. It's the Miami Hurricanes 7, MCneese State 7. We'll be back right after this.
At Boise Cascade, we see the forest for the trees. Trees that are used to build our homes and bring us the news of the world. Forests we renew by planting 6 trees for every one we harvest. Forests that provide natural shelter for Louisiana's wildlife. With our vision, together we'll grow well into the future, just like the forest we oversee. Boise Cascade, products you use from the environment we protect.
You know, my surgery was all about getting back to my old self. At Surgicare, I received exceptional care from their experienced professional staff. Since Surgicare of Lake Charles is designed exclusively for outpatient surgery, they were able to offer me a convenient, comfortable, and less costly alternative to a big hospital. The center's warm surroundings and personal attention minimized the stress of my surgery and allowed me to complete my recovery in the comfort of my own home. So do what I did. Ask your doctor, can I have my surgery at Surgicare?
Sebastian the Ibis in the new Hurricane home jerseys this year. Miami redesigning their uniforms. Of course, still the familiar orange and green colors. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Two wide receivers set to the top of the screen. And Burton remains the tailback. Now Nagel shifts into the shotgun. Nagel down the sideline and overthrows his receiver at the 40-yard line, intended for number 2, Jermaine Martin. Mike Rumpf had the coverage for the Hurricanes.
Nice thought by Slade Nagel that time. He figured he'd take a chance on the outside. Saw the press coverage, but great coverage on the outside by the junior Mike Rumpf.
Slade Nagel, a coach's son. His father, John, is the associate head coach at McNeese State, and also is the running backs coach. Nagel started his career at Clemson and then transferred back home. 2nd and 10 from the Cowboy 20. They send 3 wide receivers into the formation with Burton the lone running back. And Burton has the football. And Burton will get a yard or 2. Javon Rhodes at the bottom of the pile, number 50, helped out by Dan Morgan, the middle linebacker.
Javon Rose coming on strong in summer camp, did a great job to elevate his play on the defensive end for the Miami Hurricanes. You see, he was first to the ball. Nice job up front that time by Damian Lewis. He eludes the tackler, forces the running back Burton right into number 50, Javon Rose. And then you see Dan Morgan also in on the tackle with William Joseph.
Call it a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 9 as you look at Dan Morgan's numbers from last season. Very impressive. Again, 3 wide receivers in for the Cowboys. Nagel out of the shotgun. Nagel to the sideline, intercepted by Leonard Myers, and he is out of bounds at the McNeese State 20-yard line. Leonard Myers, the senior from Fort Lauderdale, coming up with pick number 1 on the season. The pass was intended for Burton.
Yeah, you mentioned him right there, number 22, Leonard Myers from Dillard High School, just stayed at home. Miscommunication by Slade Nagel and the receiver outside. The receiver runs the fade. Nagel throws the out route, and right there, number 22, Leonard Myers, like a kid on Christmas, just standing there waiting to go into the end zone. You see the wide receiver ran the fade route outside. Jesse Burton makes the tackle to save the touchdown, but one page where the quarterback was on, the receiver going up the field, and number 22 steps right in front for the Hurricane turnover.
Marcus Turner was the intended receiver. Najee Davenport making his first appearance of the 2000 season, a tailback for Miami, as they have it 1st and 10 from the McNeese 20. Fake to Davenport. Dorsey on the rollout. Dorsey complete to Santana Moss down at the 9-yard line. That's a gain of 11 and a first down. Gerard Jones had the tackle for McNeese. Najee Davenport, a junior out of Miami Central High School, just a physical specimen at 6'2", 235 pounds, and you see 81 yards from the Ohio State game, the opener last year, where he was injured in the 4th quarter, tore the ACL. Looks like Santana Moss walking off the field a little gingerly. He's had a tweaked hamstring during fall camp, as Miami now goes to the double tight end formation. Give to Davenport. Davenport trying to pick his way through. Will get down to the 7-yard line. Got only 2. As the McNeese State defense closed quickly.
Well, I know Najee was eager to get back onto the football field at 6'2", 235 pounds. Opposing defenses will know where he's coming from. He's got great size and great power and speed to go along with that size. And you see there, as you mentioned, Frank, Santana Moss possibly injuring that hamstring again, or his lower leg. Looked like he was trying to limp off gingerly.
2nd and goal from the McNeese 7. Dorsey looking to put it up. Fade to the end zone and overthrows a wide open Ivan Mercer. Hadley Prince had the coverage, but he was well off, and you see Dorsey, that's me, that's my bad. You can see him saying it, John.
You're right. Even though Ivan Mercer didn't come out of that route real clean, he was stumbling. That's still on Kenny Dorsey. He knows he could have put a little bit more air under the football and just put it on him instead of leading him to the corner, and that'll happen at quarterback. Sometimes the easiest throws are the toughest throws, Frank.
4 minutes, 35 seconds to go first quarter. A 7-7 game. Both teams scoring on their first possession. A Leonard Myers interception has set the Canes up in great field position. We'll see if they can cash in. 3 wideouts in the ball game. Davenport, the lone running back, behind Dorsey. Blitz coming. Dorsey to the corner for Reggie Wayne. Caught it. Touchdown, Miami. The defensive back, Burton, thought he had Wayne juggling the football, but the officials say he had control before he went out of bounds, and Miami puts their 2nd touchdown on the board, and again, it's It's Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, the same way this time. Reggie Wayne in the corner on the fade route. The first one, he really didn't have to work for it. This time, Ken Dorsey just puts it up and says, hey, I'm going to let Reggie Wayne have a chance for this football. Go up and get it and fight for it. You see Bruce Bolden trying to rip the football out of Reggie Wayne's hands, but that's just strength right there. It looks like he came down with 1 foot in bounds. It's 13 points for the Hurricanes.
Seavers on to try the extra point, and it is good out of the hold of Aaron Mosier and the snap of Chris Harvey. And with 4 minutes and 31 seconds left to go in the first quarter, the Hurricanes have retaken the lead. A second touchdown pass from Ken Dorsey to Reggie Wayne. It's 14-7 Miami. John, the Hurricanes set up by the Leonard Myers interception. Now, obviously tonight, Miami wants to win the football game, but the fans expect them to win it impressively. Butch Davis wants to get as many second-team guys into the game as he can. In fact, he's dressed 10 true freshmen, hoping to get some depth and playing time for these guys and develop the depth as they get into the season.
Well, I think that's very important. You'll take a look. As this game wears on, they're going to try to get more than 50 players into this football game just so they can get them in a game situation so Butch Davis and his staff can coach them. Not only offense and defense, but special teams. You never know where you're going to need depth as this season moves on, and high expectations for this Miami Hurricanes team this season have been held by a lot of the people in the media, a lot of people down here in South Florida. And you see Ken Dorsey, he has high expectations too. So you're right, Frank. A lot of people need to see game action, and they not only need to play, they need to play impressively, and so they can see themselves on film and they're able to be coached tomorrow.
I'm wondering if we're going to see Santana Moss again in this game. He is down about the 50-yard line on the Miami bench being looked at by the medical staff, and they're looking at his calf, his right calf. As I look down through the field glasses, there's a good shot of it thanks to our director Mike Rubin. Working on the right calf.
Yeah, it looked like when he caught the football as he was being tackled, it looked like the defender from the Cowboys just had him around the ankle. So maybe they'll go ahead and retape that ankle again and actually tape it on the outside, give him a little bit more, support for that ankle, and he might see him another series or two.
As I said, Santana had struggled with a bit of a hamstring problem in fall camp. Here is Seavers to kick it off. Martin and Pierce are deep. This is Jermaine Martin from the 1. Martin cut down as he reached the 19-yard line. Number 23, James Lewis, backup safety out of Piscataway, New Jersey, in on the special teams tackle for Miami. They'll mark it just shy of the 20-yard line. That is where Slade Nagel and the Cowboys will start 1st and 10. Well, the Miami defense creating the turnover on the last possession. Certainly a much better effort than the first possession for the Cowboys when they went 65 yards and really ran the football right down the Hurricanes' throats.
Yeah, I think the Hurricanes got a rude wake-up call there after the first series. Now it looks like the crowd's back into it and the Hurricanes are back into it as well.
Marcus Trahan is the new tailback. He has the football and he has stood up as he reached the 22-yard line. Chris Campbell and Al Blades just got all up in his grill after a gain of only 2.
Yeah, Al Blades said, "Welcome to my world." He was waiting in the hole, no one else there. Al Blades, a big free safety from Plantation High School in Plantation, 6'2", 205. Take a look right here. Here I am, come and get me. And he stands Marcus Trahan right up in the hole, really for no gain. Just a great play by Al Blades. No one else there. You see Edward Reed coming in and helping with the tackle, but the initial hit, a big hit by Al Blades.
Again, 3 wide receivers in on a 2nd and 8 for McNeese. Nagel out of the shotgun, flips it to Trahan, complete at the 20. Trahan dropped at the 26-yard line as Javon Rhodes and Damian Lewis combined on the tackle. Javon Rhodes, number 50, is really Miami's 3rd-string defensive end. Jamal Green and Quincy Hips both unavailable tonight. Hips has an ankle sprain, and Green is sitting out 2-game suspension for an off-field incident in the offseason. So Javon Rhodes, who is only 250 pounds for a defensive end, gets his first career start, the senior from LaPorte, Texas. 3rd and 4 upcoming for McNeese. 3:11 left to go first quarter. Miami with the 14-7 lead. Again, 3 wideouts in as Nagel out of the shotgun throws complete to Trahan. Trahan will have a first down up near the 33-yard line as Chris Campbell made the tackle.
Nice play call that time. They tried to use the rub play to the short side of the field earlier for a first down. This time they used it from the backfield. Marcus Trahan coming outside. Always you'll see a receiver coming inside trying to rub one of the linebackers right there. Make him reroute, make him go around and take a little bit longer to get to the back. That time Marcus Trahan hangs on for a McNeese first down.
Marcus Trahan, a 5'9", 187-pound sophomore out of Sulphur, Louisiana. As Nagel brings the Cowboys to the line of scrimmage with a 1st and 10 from their 33. 2:42 to go first quarter. Nagel going deep, looking for Jimmy Redmond, and overthrows him at the Miami 35-yard line. Leonard Myers in the coverage for the Canes. chants going through the crowd here at the Orange Bowl, John. They're not happy with what they're seeing from the Canes defense so far.
We have to give credit to McNeese State's offense. They've done a nice job of mixing up the play call. You know, on that first drive, Frank, they really ran the football between the tackles effectively. Now they're trying to get the ball outside with quick passes, or picks on the outside. That time they get a 1st and 10. Offensive coordinator calls downtown. They almost convert on that play. Nice play calling and nice mixing up of the plays by McNeese State.
Intended receiver on the last play, Jimmy Redmond, started his career at Ohio State. Stayed there 2 years and then transferred to McNeese. On a 2nd and 10.
They're going to have to hurry.
Nagel changing the play, and he ran out of time. Delay of game on McNeese. That'll cost them 5 and bring up a 2nd and 15. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left to go first quarter here at the Orange Bowl. Frank Fort and John Kajemi with you on Fox Sports Net as the Canes hold a 14-7 lead.
Delay of game.
Kim Dorsey to Reggie Wayne
Against the
touchdown
offense.
passes.
5-yard penalty from the succeeding spot.
Scoring.
Replay 2nd down.
And a Jesse Burton 23-yard touchdown run. McNeese State's score. So it's 2nd and 15 now for the Cowboys as the ball moved back to their 28-yard line. Tommy Tate observing the first penalty on his team tonight. Cowboys come out with 2 wide receivers. And the fullback Ostolet flexed out to the right side. 3-step drop. Nagel again going up top, and that ball is caught by Redmond. A beautiful catch at the 46-yard line where Edward Reed bumped him out of bounds. Call it a gain to the 47-yard line, and McNeese has another first down and a gain of 18.
Nice throw and catch, but the key was by Redmond. Jimmy Redmond did a nice job of leaving himself enough room to the outside where Nagel could float the football to the outside. You see, he didn't press himself or didn't cover himself by using the sideline. He kept his body by the numbers. Slade Nagel knew that, gave him enough room to throw the football on the outside. They have great team speed at the receiver spot, and they're going to challenge the UM corners all night. You see Slade Nagel's numbers, 5 of 9 for 40 yards on the evening.
McNeese with a 1st and 10 from their 47. Mix up in the backfield, and Nagel slips at his 40-yard line and goes down right there. That'll cost the Cowboys 7 yards. Nagel went one way, the tailback went the other, and the result is a loss of 7.
Yeah, one of the only hopeless feelings you have as a quarterback is when either the running back goes the wrong way or you turn the wrong way, and there's no one to hand the football off to. You just have to bury a hole somewhere around the 40-yard line and lay on the football. But that time it breaks a little bit of the momentum that they've created by the big play. You see, the quarterback comes out going, oh, you're not here, you're not supposed to be here, or maybe it's me, I'll just fall on the football.
2nd and long. Nagel, again, 3-step drop. Inside screen, pass is complete to Jermaine Martin, and he is drilled at the 45-yard line after a gain of 4. William Joseph in on the tackle for the Canes, along with Adrian Wilson, number 96. A couple of big guys, and I'll tell you what, Martin at 144 pounds, they list him, going against Joseph at 290 and Wilson at about 305.
Yeah, Martin coming in really tiptoeing, and you see the big guys up front, number 96 there, Adrian Wilson, waiting for the screen. You see him coming from the left to right. Get small in a hurry because there's a lot of orange jerseys coming in with a lot of pop.
3rd and 10. Marcus Trahan, the running back, behind Nagel. Make it 3rd and 12 from the McNeese State 45. Nagel again, 3-step drop. Pass is tipped and nearly intercepted. Looked like Dan Morgan got a piece of it at first, and then Edward Reed nearly came up with the interception.
McNeese State's going to have more success going on the outside trying to throw the football. There's a lot of bodies in this zone defense on the inside. You see, looking all the way inside to his tight end, Morgan does a great job of reading the quarterback's eyes. He tips the ball. It goes over his head, almost into the waiting arms of Edward Reed, the strong safety. Almost comes up with a pick for the Hurricanes.
David Latta into punt, standing at his 31. Santana Moss back in the ball game at the Miami 15-yard line, and whistle stop play and a timeout called by McNeese State with 1:06 left to go in the first quarter. And they may have been short one guy on the punt team. In any case, charge McNeese with their first timeout. As Tommy Tate motioning out to one of his players.
Somebody better get to the sidelines quick. Over on the other side, Butch Davis talking to his strong safety, Edward Reed. Defense did a nice job. You see Butch Davis in his 6th season as head coach, 40-19 is that career record. And I know Butch Davis really wants to improve on a couple teams that they'll face later on this year.
Specifically Virginia Tech and Florida State. He's 0 for 10 against those two teams. And John, in my opinion, Virginia Tech is the bigger game because you want to win the conference and go to a BCS Bowl. Obviously, the Canes want to beat Florida State. What Miami fan doesn't? But I think Virginia Tech game is more important simply from the conference standpoint, and you go to a BCS Bowl and you get the big payday. And you're playing on January 1st.
And to Butch Davis's credit, in those football games, I think this year he really feels confident that he's loaded, that he's got a full arsenal of players to go into that football game and really feel confident about laying it on the line. No more excuses from this Miami team.
So on 4th and 12, McNeese State will punt for the first time. David Lotta, who averaged 41.3 yards per kick last year. Lotta nearly had it blocked. Moss picks it up on a bounce at the 23. Not a penalty flag, it was a yard marker. There goes Moss, great block from Blades.
He's gone.
Santana's going to take it to the house. Goodbye, Santana Moss will take it all the way. A 78-yard punt return. The official threw down a marker, but it was the yardage marker where the return started from. And instead of a penalty marker, and Santana Moss has done it again for the Hurricanes.
Well, when you're handing out accolades for this punt return, don't stop with Santana Moss. There were some terrific blocks on the outside to spring Santana Moss down the McNeese State sideline. First of all, the punt should have been blocked. It looked like it went right under James Lewis, or actually number 20, Edward Reed. You see Santana Moss picking up, just waiting for the blocking on the outside. You see number 84 right there, King on the outside. He makes the first block, and then at sure speed down the outside, Santana Moss goes 78 yards for a Hurricane score.
48 seconds left to go first quarter. I guess that ankle is feeling all right, John.
I think so. I think the outside tape job did well, and you see the Hurricanes will be stepped off for celebration, I believe, after the touchdown.
Line, the try will be from the 18-yard line.
I hate that penalty.
Yeah, I do too,
I really do. Not because it's on Miami, but unless 80 guys come off the bench, I just think it's ridiculous. Part of the greatness of college football is the enthusiasm and the energy. And
let them have some fun. Unless
somebody's dancing in somebody's face for the other team, I just hate that penalty. So Severs will try a 35-yard extra point, and he misses it. And with 48 seconds left to go first quarter, it remains Miami 20, McNeese State 7. So the penalty does cost Miami on the extra point. As you look at Santana Moss, the senior out of Carroll City. Of course, you probably, if you're a Hurricane fan, know the story by now. Came to Miami on a track scholarship when the Canes were limited in football scholarships by the NCAA sanctions. So he came in on a track scholarship. Of course, once he actually stepped on the field and played, he counted against the football scholarship limit. But it was a way to get Santana in school, and he has turned out to be a tremendous football player and also an excellent track athlete. Still, John, in the offseason, he won the Big East 60-meter indoor title and the Big East outdoor long jump and triple jump.
Well, Santana's not short on talent. He did a great job just fielding the punt on one bounce and then takes it to the outside, and he followed his blocking superbly, and then he's got just such great speed to the outside. Even with that ankle injury earlier in the game, you could see his speed, and he idled it down about the 30-yard line, but it looked like the big block was by Andre King on the outside. First of all, Edward Reed comes untouched right up the middle, and it almost looked like he got partially blocked, but it went right underneath him, picks it up just like a shortstop, and then watch 84 right on the outside, right there. That's the block. He springs him along with Mosier, number 26. You see Al Blades right there delivering a pop to the outside as well. But it's all speed after that. Daryl Jones wanted to get a good lick in on the outside, but he geared it down about the 10-yard line. Just a terrific play.
And John, what does that tell you about Miami's wide receivers when Andre King and Daryl Jones are playing on the punt return team, not returning the kick, but are blocking? Because I'll tell you what, Andre King is one of the fiercest blockers you're ever going to find for a wide receiver. He looks to take people's heads off, and he did on that play.
And he did on that play. He was the guy, the main reason to spring that play. You see some fans going to release the Hounds in 2000. They're coming after people this year, and I tell you what, they've got great team speed, and they've got great ability on both sides of the football. They've got a chance to do it.
So Todd Severs will step back to kick it off again. Aaron Pierce, number 20, and Jermaine Martin, number 2, back to receive the kick for the McNeese State Cowboys.
Frank, the last time the Hurricanes returned a punt for a touchdown was Santana Moss against Syracuse. Last season, 61 yards when the Hurricanes routed the Orange 45-13.
He also had one against Rutgers the game prior to that. He had a 100-yard kickoff return in the Gator Bowl wiped out by a penalty. This kick high and coming down to Martin at the goal line. Martin running into trouble and into the arms of Philip Buchanan at the McNeese State 16-yard line. Philip Buchanan, number 31, the true sophomore defensive back out of Lehigh, Florida, over in the Fort Myers area. And the Hurricane coaches believe he will next year be a starting cornerback and a very good one. His nickname is not what you would think for a defensive back.
What is it?
Slug.
Slug. I don't know. He's delivered some punishing blows out there.
I think of a slow-moving creature when I think of Slug, but Phillip is not slow. You see the score and time remaining in the first quarter. So far, the rain has held off this evening at the Orange Bowl after a rainy afternoon. Burton back into the game at tailback. Redmond in motion for the Cowboys. Burton with the football. And Burton again finds a hole. There goes Jesse Burton up to the 30-yard line where Mike Rumpf and Al Blades combined on the tackle.
Well, it's no accident that Jesse Burton is running and having some success against the Hurricanes. Last season, 721 yards, 4 touchdowns, but he averaged 4.0 per carry. That time did a nice job of cutting back against the grain, getting into the Miami Hurricane secondary and enabling himself enough yards for a first down.
Burton's numbers so far excellent, 7 for 59 and the 1 touchdown. Matt Walters, number 91, in at defensive tackle for the Hurricanes, along with number 39, LeVar Scott, now in at the left defensive end. Here comes the reverse to Redmond, and he's got room. Redmond across the 40. Al Blades bumped him out at the 44-yard line, but again, a nice pickup, 14 yards and a first down for the Cowboys. Well, this has got to be very disturbing to the Miami defensive coaches, John, the way that McNeese is running the football on Miami.
Well, consecutive plays, that time a nice play call outside, a good reverse on the perimeter. Now, McNeese State has shown on the first series and in periods through this first quarter that they do have some speed at the skill positions. And Slade Nagel can deliver the football outside, and that has to worry Butch Davis and this defensive staff.
Lawton, the fullback, Luke Lawton, number 44, a little late getting on the field, and the play clock is down to 12. First and 10, McNeese, but the quarter will run out first. I beg your pardon, it will not, as the clock was stopped to move the chains, and penalty flags fly as it looked like McNeese got off a little early. So we'll let the officiating crew sort it out.
Looked like that right side of that offensive line, a little anxious to get started with 2 seconds left to go in the quarter.
False start on the offense.
A false start.
5-yard penalty from the succeeding spot. Replay first down.
Where with 2 seconds to go in the first quarter, it'll bring up a first and 15. Miami getting a couple of second unit guys in there. Number 58, Jarrell Weaver, one of the Weaver twins, now in the ball game at the weak side linebacker. On first and 15, Redmond in motion. Give us to Burton. And this time Al Blades meets him in the hole and holds it to a gain of 2 yards. Dan Morgan also helping out on the tackle along with Ken Dangerfield. And that will bring the first quarter to an end here at the Orange Bowl. After 15 minutes of play, it's the Miami Hurricanes 20, McNeese State 7.
We've never needed a mortgage before, and everyone warned us, be prepared to ransom your firstborn child. One bank told us our options: down payments, interest rates, 15-year versus 30. Everything to make us smart about mortgages.
And to make us homeowners.
Without giving up Maggie.
Brian.
Maggie.
Treating you better. It's what we do best. Cameron State Bank. Personal banking at its best.
It's clearance time, Southwest Louisiana, with our lowest prices of the year on Hondas, the best-selling cars in Lake Charles. As we close out the biggest sales year in our history, come save big on the #1 selling car in all of Lake Charles, the Honda Accord. Plus, choose from a tremendous selection of new Honda Civics, CRVs, and Passports, all with 4.9% financing. Billy Navarre declares a year-end clearance price war, with prices we challenge any dealer in America to beat at Billy Navarre Honda I-210 in Lake Charles.
The Partners in Education are pleased to provide a network of support for teachers and students to enhance educational programs and boost the morale of the students. Citgo is proud to support the Career Center, E.K. Key Elementary, and Sulphur High School in a variety of projects to spark interest and increase student participation. Please help us support Partners in Education. Brought to you by Citgo and Fox 29.
Information technology is one field which spans all industries. There are computers in hospitals. There's computers in the legal field, in retail, in media, and education. This translates into real job opportunities for you. Delta has been serving our local job market for 30 years, and as the field of information technology has exploded, Delta has expanded to meet that need.
Second quarter action at the Orange Bowl. Nagel throwing a pass, an inside screen to Martin, and he is drilled. Oh boy, did he take a shot. Number 91, Matt Walters, came back with the second contact.
Yeah,
and really laid it on him.
And Edward Reed, a nice read that time by the strong safety. Fool me once, okay, but on the same play and about 3 or 4 plays ago, they did the same thing. And this time, Edward Reed did a nice job of smelling out the screen from his strong safety position. Take a look right there. He's the first one on the hit right there, and then Walters comes in and wraps up from behind. A nice job surrounding the football by this Kane defense.
3rd and 14 from the McNeese State 40. Nagel out of the shotgun. Again, the quick look into Redmond, and Philip Buchanan is on him right away to hold that play to a gain of 5 or 6 yards, and it'll bring up a punting situation for the Cowboys.
You mentioned him. Number 31 on special teams did a nice job wrapping up on special teams. That time he comes in and wraps up the McNeese State offensive player, holds him short of a first down, and the Canes will get the ball back to start this second quarter.
4th down and 9 from the Cowboy 45. Santana Moss standing back at his 16-yard line. Lotta to kick it away. The left footer, a low tumbling kick. Moss takes it on the run at the 25 and gets up to the 33-yard line. Number 3, Marcus Trahan, the backup tailback, making the tackle for McNeese. And the Canes will take over 1st and 10 as we are just underway in the second quarter. 13:34 to go in the second as Ken Dorsey leads Miami back onto the field. Dorsey with a couple of touchdown passes tonight, both to Reggie Wayne and Santana Moss, with the officially a 77-yard punt return in the first quarter for the 3rd Miami touchdown. Ball marked at the 32. Canes will have it 1st and 10. Both wide receivers, Jones and Wayne, to the bottom of your screen. McPartland and Davenport, the running backs. Fake to Davenport. Dorsey going long for Reggie Wayne, overthrows it at the McNeese 25-yard line. Good coverage from Gerard Jones, and had inside help from the safety, Joe Judge.
Yeah, that time well covered by the secondary. McNeese State trying to get deep to Reggie Wayne. You see there Ken Dorsey trying to get it all on first down.
2nd and 10 for the Canes, ball remaining at the 32-yard line.
Just play action deep to Davenport, and really just sitting back and trying to throw it as far as you can. But that time, bracket coverage, big zone coverage by McNeese State that time. Reggie Wayne have no chance to get the football.
On a 2nd and 10. Dorsey pitches to Davenport. Davenport coming wide, and he is cut down right at the line of scrimmage, perhaps a loss of a yard. Good play by the McNeese defense. It was 13, Gerard Jones, along with number 58, Ryan Garrison. Jones a little slow to get up. And also another McNeese State player down in the middle of the field. That is number 48, Gunjo Okenson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the University of Miami would like to welcome these.
That's 46, I'm sorry, Charles Lars. Lars, the defensive end, being tended to by the training staff. It'll be a 3rd and 10 for Miami as Davenport got no gain on the last play. John, looked like he should have cut it up inside a little bit.
Yeah, slow developing play on the outside. And it's good to see Charles Lars maybe getting up from this injury, because you hate to see this on the opening night for anybody's season. But you're right, Frank, a slow developing play to the outside, and really never got his shoulder squared going north and south. You see Joaquin Gonzalez and Bilba coming outside with McPartland, the fullback, and nowhere really to run and cut it up. McNeese State did a nice job pursuing to the football, coming from inside to outside, and really no room to run on the outside that time for Davenport.
So it'll be a 3rd and 10 for the Canes as Lars is helped off. Junior out of Shreveport, Louisiana. 61 tackles a year ago, including 5 sacks. 13-14 left to go second quarter. It's a 20-7 Miami lead. Dorsey and the Canes face a 3rd and 10. Andre King and Santana Moss split to the top of the screen, and Reggie Wayne to the bottom. Out of the shotgun. Dorsey stepping up in the pocket, and now running. And almost thought about flipping the ball off to Davenport, but I'm sure he thought he was beyond the line of scrimmage, and Dorsey goes down after a pickup of 2, so it'll be a punting situation for Miami.
Nice job by the front 5 from McNeese State, really collapsing the pocket. You see a lot of lanes opening up. Dorsey trying to make a play, almost tried to flip the football outside, but I think he would just cross the line of scrimmage, did the wise thing. Instead of making a bad play, let's punt the football and let our defense get the ball back to the offense.
Aaron Pierce back to receive the punt for McNeese. Capshaw, a spinner off the outside of his foot, and that is out of bounds. See where the officials mark it. Not a good kick for Freddie Capshaw. It'll be marked out at the 37-yard line, flag down on the far side of the field. And we'll see who this goes against. 29 yards on the punt for Capshaw, and that's not going to get it done. Procedure on Miami, I'm sure McNeese will decline the penalty. They have good field position. Well, McNeese will take over 1st and 10 with 12:19 left to go second quarter. Miami with a 20-7 lead.
Against the kicking team. Penalty is declined. First down, McNeese.
And the ball spotted at the 38 of the Cowboys. Tommy Tate declining the penalty, and wisely so, after the poor punt by Capshaw. Freddie had kind of an up and down season last year. They're looking for a little more consistency out of Freddie Capshaw in the kicking game. Well, that's one of the big questions about Miami. As a 5th-ranked team, there's a lot of questions about the kicking game, a lot of unproven guys. On 1st and 10, Redmond in motion. Give to Pierce. Pierce squeezes out to the 40-yard line. Javon Rhodes, number 50, and Ken Dangerfield combined on the tackle after a gain of 2.
Miami on 1st down, Frank, really rotating the free safety up into the strong safety position. You see a lot of Al Blades real close to the line of scrimmage, getting involved on 1st down, primarily a running down tonight for McNeese State. And you'll see Mike Rumpf or number 20, Edward Reed, go back to the free safety position. As you take a look at Ken Dangerfield, who's done a nice job today, but take a look at that from Miami throughout this first half.
On 2nd and 8, Redmond in motion across the formation. Nagel gives it to Pierce. Pierce squeezes through to the 45-yard line, and he took Dangerfield for a ride and picked up 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Pierce took Dangerfield for a ride or Dangerfield just actually tackled him towards his own goal line. But whatever happened, the pile moved towards the McNeese State goal line. Let's take a look at Dangerfield in the middle, really unblocked, does a nice job coming off of the pile, catches the running back, and actually goes for a ride a little bit for about 2 or 3 yards, but that'll bring up a 3rd and about 3 yards for the Cowboys.
11:08 with the clock moving here in the 2nd quarter. 3rd and 3 McNeese, and they're going to have to call timeout again as the play clock was down to 3. That'll cost him a 2nd timeout here in the 1st half. As Slade Nagel moves toward the sideline.
I'm surprised right now, to tell you the truth, Frank, at the way McNeese State, the skill positions offensively, they've done a nice job controlling the football on the outside. They've done a nice job throwing the football. And actually the running backs, the tandem of the running backs, have some elusiveness in between the tackles.
And one thing that's clear, they're not going to let Miami's pass rush get to them. It's pretty much 3-step drop on about everything. We're going to take a timeout. 11:03 to go 2nd quarter. Miami leading McNeese State 20-7.
Is Beauregard Electric committed to the communities they serve?
Beauregard Electric is partners in education with 4 schools in 3 parishes. We've sent high school students to Washington, D.C. through the Youth Tour Essay Contest for 20 years. We have awarded 31 scholarships over the last 6 years. Beauregard Electric offers safety education to schools, organizations, and area festivals. And you bet, Beauregard Electric is committed to our communities. And did I mention, our offices are still in town.
Fox 29. They've got it all. Fox 29. Set it up now.
McNeese State from their 45-yard line. Nagel, three-step drop, flips it out, incomplete for Redmond, as Leonard Myers had very good coverage. And if that ball would have been on target, Myers might have had his second interception.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely would have been batted down. The ball was high, delivered high from Slade Nagel to the outside. Looking for Jimmy Redmond, just enough to move the chains, but great position and great coverage and anticipation by Leonard Myers.
So on 4th and 3, the punt team comes on the field for McNeese State. David Lotta to kick it away, and Santana Moss back at his 15-yard line. Lotta gets it away. Again, a low driving kick. Moss at the 16. Skips around one man and will get back only to the 25-yard line. A return of 9 yards. Jimmy Abram, number 42, in on the tackle along with number 40. That would be Brad Archie, the outside linebacker.
Yeah, Brad Archie. That's why that chin strap looks the way it does. Brad Archie had a full head of steam going into that pile. Santana kind of looking around saying, hey, somebody, when you see 40 coming untouched, want somebody to get an orange shirt on him. Take a look right here, right of your screen. Whack right there into Santana Moss. He's already gone down a little bit with the right ankle, and you see him coming off to the sideline talking to Butch Davis. Hey, how about a little block in there, coach?
1st and 10 Miami. 3 wide receivers in on this formation, with Clinton Portis now the running back. Dorsey setting up a screen to Portis, and he dropped it. Well, I think it's safe to say, John, that Miami's been kind of hot and cold in this game. At times they've looked good, and at times they've not looked sharp at all.
Yeah, and right there they had the perfect play call and the perfect setup. The offensive lineman out in front, Clinton Portis, seeing his first play of the game in the right position. They just couldn't make the long handoff, just a pitch and catch on a screen. And historically, that's something Miami really hasn't done a lot of, is the screen play.
10:44 to go, second quarter. Hurricanes with the 20-7 lead over McNeese State. This is 2nd and 10 play. Dorsey, the reverse to Moss. Moss with room and blocking. Santana down the sideline. 50, 40, cutting back to the middle. Santana Moss is gone. Santana Moss with an 75-yard touchdown run on the reverse. Miami's 4th score of the night. 2nd for Santana.
Well, just when you think Santana Moss might be out of gas or got hit too hard and he walks to the sideline after the punt return, give him a little bit of room and he's like a horse that sees the barn. He's gone. He's hungry for some more touchdowns and big plays. Take a look, Santana Moss has Ed Wilkins in front of him. He gets a little clip right there to slow down the defender, and watch the big block by number 28, Clinton Portis, behind the play right there. He comes in and delivers behind Santana Moss. Really unnecessary because Moss is in the end zone already. Touchdown, Hurricanes.
Seaver's extra point try is up, and it is good.
Let's go.
10 minutes, 29 seconds left to go in the second quarter, and just when Miami looks like they're stuck in neutral, Santana Moss puts it in overdrive and takes it to the house from 75 yards on the reverse. It's Miami 27, McNeese State 7. We'll be right back with more second quarter action from the Orange Bowl.
Summertime, summertime, summertime.
That's right, it's summertime hot out, folks, and so are the deals at Lake Charles Toyota. So come see us for sizzling summer savings on all our inventory. We got a great selection and low prices on Tundra, Avalon, Sienna, and 4Runner. Or how about our 2000 RAV4, stock number 2616, just $17,995. So don't go walking that sizzling sidewalk. Come to Lake Charles Toyota for sizzling summer savings special. So get a hot deal on some cool wheels and spend the rest of your summertime chilling out.
My surgery was all about getting back to my old self. At Surgicare, I received exceptional care from their experienced professional staff. Since Surgicare of Lake Charles is designed exclusively for outpatient surgery, they were able to offer me a convenient, comfortable, and less costly alternative to a hospital. The center's warm surroundings and personal attention minimized the stress of my surgery and allowed me to complete my recovery in the comfort of my own home. So do what I did. Ask your physician, can I have my surgery at Surgicare?
Santana Moss with 2 touchdowns tonight. His wide receiver partner, Reggie Wayne, with 2. But Santana's second touchdown coming on this reverse.
Well, you said hot and cold. That's really described this Miami offense tonight. This time, very hot, extremely hot is Santana Moss. Does a nice job cutting back right there. Decided to go against the grain the last 30 yards. and then that speed gets him into the end zone. Nice play call by this offense. You see Santana Moss, 204 total yards already tonight. Did a great job. He's got 75 rushing, 35 through the air, return yards of 94. I went to Pitt, Frank, but it still adds up to 204 for me.
Here's Severs with the kickoff. A low line drive picked up by Lawton, the fullback, at the 16-yard line. And Lawton pulling his way across the 30 to the 35, where he's under a swarm of Hurricane tacklers. David Williams, number 82, in on the tackle. And again, they're working on the foot and calf of Santana Moss, which he had injured earlier in the game. They may retape it again.
Yeah, you know, you might not see Santana Moss again if it's bothering him that much. Maybe the tape was so tight it was uncomfortable, but if he's going to run like that, I might tape up the other ankle that tight.
1st and 10, McNeese from their 35-yard line. Burton, the running back, behind Nagel. And Burton has the football. And Burton goes nowhere. Howard Clark, number 45, but the primary hit from number 91, Matt Walters, the 6'5", 270-pound sophomore from Melbourne, Florida, and a guy who has really come on. Had a nice year as a redshirt freshman last year in a backup role, and he is going to be alternating at that left defensive tackle position with Adrian Wilson.
Yeah, had a lot of action last season, 27 total sackings in the 99 campaign. And also Howard Clark has done a nice job in this summer camp, the fall camp. He's come on strong and really solidified the backup position at linebacker.
On 2nd and 10, out of the shotgun, Nagel completes it to Burton, who drops it, and Leonard Myers then put the wood to him. Just to make sure. Just
to make sure you don't catch this football. Leonard Myers was tiptoeing so the running back would not hear him. Coming from the inside out, you see number 21, Jesse Burton, and on the outside, you can see that at cornerback. That's great vision by Leonard Myers. He's a senior. He's a veteran out there on the corner. He can look through the running back to see where the quarterback's going with the football. That time he leaves the coverage he was in, comes right up on the tailback, Jesse Burton, and makes him pay.
3rd and 10 for McNeese. 9:39 to go, second quarter. Nagel again out of the shotgun. Nagel's pass intercepted by Chris Campbell. Chris Campbell taking it back as Wes Hines drops him at the 33-yard line of McNeese State. But Chris Campbell's first career interception, second of the night for the Hurricanes.
Chris, I hope you forgive me for telling you didn't have great hands in the first quarter. That was a terrific catch, a leaping grab by Chris Campbell. He goes up, climbs the ladder. You see right there, he gets airborne and brings it down, looks it in all the way. A great play by number 48, the strong side linebacker. Last season, didn't have an interception. Now he's got one in the 2000.
Well, of course, Chris sat out the first 4 games last year with the academic suspension. Made his first start against Florida State in place of the injured Michael Smith, and he was kind of deer in the headlights that night, but he really came on strong. Here's Clinton Portis with the first football. Make it James Jackson, rather, number 21, and Jackson run out of bounds after a gain of 12 and a Miami first down.
James Jackson looks so strong this year compared to last season. He just looks bigger and stronger, and you know, he had so many injuries last season that really hampered his ability to stay on the football field and give Miami that electric spark that they need from that tailback position. And this year, I think if he stays healthy, a huge key, a big cog in this offense.
Officially a gain of 11 for James Jackson. 1st and 10 Miami with 9:25 to go in the second quarter. 3 wide receivers in the formation for the Canes. Dorsey under some pressure, corner of the end zone. Darryl Jones caught, flags down. Nobody signaled touchdown yet. Darryl thinks he has a touchdown.
That's offensive. That's defensive interference. That's got to be a touchdown. Great concentration by Darryl Jones. Give us the call, somebody.
Darryl thinks he's got a touchdown. Still no indication from the officials. Gentlemen, if he caught the football, it's a touchdown.
Frank, get on that soapbox.
3 guys are too busy throwing penalty flags to notice whether he caught the ball or not.
Well, I think everybody else in the house thinks it's a touchdown. You want the touchdown? Yeah,
I don't know what the discussion is. He did catch it, didn't he?
Pass interference against the defense. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
There you go.
All right. Gives the fans something to cheer about.
Okay, it took him long enough.
Great concentration by Darryl Jones. Even though he was being tackled before he caught the football, was able to keep his eye on the ball and comes down with a Hurricane touchdown.
Severs on to try to tack the extra point on. Chris Harvey with the good snap. Mosier with the hold, and Severs knocks it through. 9 minutes, 18 seconds left to go here in the second quarter at the Orange Bowl. Darryl Jones with his first touchdown of the year, and Miami has stretched their lead to 34-7. We'll be right back here on Fox Sports Net.
We manage over 700,000 acres of timberland in Louisiana alone.
Dan Morrow. Forester for Boise Cascade.
Through an intensive genetics program, we combine superior parents to produce genetically superior forests. This means faster growing, higher quality forests that are more resistant to disease. One of the many ways Boise Cascade is managing its business for future generations.
Boise Cascade. Providing the products you use. Protecting the environment we share.
You know, when I go into a bank, a smile and a little common courtesy go a long way. Of course, I also want to know I can get to the bank easily, you know, that they're close by. They really ought to bend over backward to suit me. After all, it's my money.
Treating you better. It's what we do best. Cameron State Bank. Personal banking at its best.
Darryl Jones on the phone to wide receivers coach Curtis Johnson, no doubt, along with Reggie Wayne, as Darryl, who sat out last year as a redshirt, as Miami trying spacing the years between all these great wide receivers. Darryl scoring his first touchdown of the year 2000. Dan Morgan being looked at by the medical staff. Head trainer Scott McGonigal looking into his eyes, and maybe Dan just got his bell rung a little bit. So they will check out Morgan as Miami leads it 34-7. Todd Severs to kick it off. Aaron Pierce and Jermaine Martin back deep to receive for McNeese. Severs' kick will come down to Pierce at the 3. And Pierce going down as he saw DJ Williams like a runaway freight train coming at him, and Pierce just hit the deck at the 13-yard line.
I think he saw 3 or 4 or 5 orange shirts coming unblocked, and I said the best place for me is right around the 15-yard line.
So Slade Nagel will come out to lead the offense as, again, we check in on Dan Morgan. McGonigal working on the neck.
Yeah, it looked like Dan Morgan was lifting his arms and I thought it may have been his shoulder or something, but it looks like they were looking at the back of Dan's neck or his you know, maybe a concussion or something like that.
1st and 10 for McNeese State. DJ Williams, number 17, is in the game at linebacker for Miami, along with Jonathan Vilma, another true freshman. This is Trahan, and Trahan up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Edward Reed making the tackle for Miami. Pickup was 7. So Miami right now with 2 true freshman linebackers in the game. And now making changes, but Jonathan Vilma, number 51, the true freshman from Coral Gables High School, is in at middle linebacker right now. Dangerfield and Weaver along with Weaver. So there's 4 linebackers in the game. Again, it's Trahan, and he gets up close to first down yardage. Chris Campbell in on the tackle. There is Jonathan Vilma, a guy who really came on strong in his senior year. Wasn't on any of the big recruiting lists, but Miami knew about him. And I'll tell you what, once he verbally committed to Miami, then everybody started calling him.
I know, 6'2", 215, he's in because Dan Morgan is on the sidelines. As you said, Frank, a true freshman. I think we'll start to see a little bit more substitution in the second half, but we still have 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to go before halftime. So you see that first unit, the core of the first unit, still getting a lot of work.
And Miami's 4 linebackers in there with Weaver, Dangerfield, Vilma, and Campbell, and only 3 defensive backs. Again, it's Trahan. Trahan pops through. Trahan to the 40 and taken down by Edward Reed at the 47-yard line. But a gain of 21 yards for Marcus Trahan out of Sulphur, Louisiana.
Great patience that time by number 3, the tailback. Watch him just take his time and really hesitate to get into that hole, follow his blocking. You see a nice double team on Vilma, and then he pops to the outside, does Marcus Trahan. Last year, he only had 144 yards on 44 attempts, but he did have 6 touchdowns for McNeese State. A nice run there for the Cowboys.
7:53 to go second quarter. Miami with the 34-7 lead. Now Aaron Pearson at tailback. This is Pierce with the football. And Jonathan Vilma drops him after a gain of only 2. Again, they're still looking at Dan Morgan.
I doubt Dan Morgan gets back into this football game because there's no need at 34-7. And last year, Dan was hampered by a couple of nagging injuries, really, that bothered him. His hand, his wrist. This time he had ice on his neck tonight, but he's done a great job so far in this game, and you want to hold him out with that many days rest looking ahead to Washington.
You've got 10 days until you play Washington. And the end timeout called by McNeese State as the play clock was running down. So 7:05 left to go second quarter. Miami with the 34-7 lead, and it's been the quick strike for Miami here in the second quarter. McNeese State, by the way, is now out of timeouts as Butch Davis talks it over with one of the officials, and Tommy Tate wondering what he can do to get his team on track here. They have run the football very well, John.
They've moved the football very effectively. They've done it in spurts, though. We talked about the Miami offense being hot and cold. Well, McNeese State is hot and cold, just a little bit more cold than hot in this first half, but they've done a nice job when the quarterback, Nagel's had time to deliver the football on the outside. He has very speedy receivers in Redmond and Martin on the outside, along with Marcus Turner. They've run the screens effectively, but they just can't get it down the field in the end zone. You see on the evening, 8 of 16 for Slade Nagel for 48 yards with those 2 interceptions, but he has made some big plays.
Miami with their first unit defensive line in the game, with William Joseph, Damian Lewis, Adrian Wilson, and now LeVar Scott in at the left end. And they're going with the 4-4-3 with the 4 linebackers, John, to try to stop this running game. But they are almost all young linebackers.
Right.
Really, Chris Campbell can be considered the only veteran out there, and he only has 8 starts under his belt. Pierce bounces outside. Pierce to the Miami 40-yard line will have a first down. James Lewis on the tackle for Miami, but that's a pickup of almost 10.
Well, the Cowboys going double tight ends, and that's going to bring a lot of people around the line of scrimmage, a lot of bodies. When you go inside and then bounce it outside, if you don't keep your lanes, just like number Chris Campbell doesn't keep leverage to the outside, with the speed that McNeese State has at the skill areas, especially running back and outside, Aaron Pierce can dip inside, then bust it outside. He has enough for a first down.
Pierce only 165 pounds, but these guys are very quick. Again, the double tight end for McNeese. Pierce again. And this time Jonathan Vilma makes the tackle, held it to a gain of 1.5 yards. I'll tell you what, the Hurricane coaches think the world of Jonathan Vilma. Everybody heard about DJ Williams coming in. The Miami coaches said, just watch out for 51. And they didn't think he was going to be as good as DJ maybe right away, but they said in a year or two, watch out for 51. He's going to be a player.
The last couple of plays, he'd show you his toughness along with his quickness. I'm surprised at the elusiveness at the middle linebacker spot of getting rid of the blockers and getting into the backfield.
On 2nd and 9. Nagel gives to Pierce, and Vilma is there along with LeVar Scott to lay the smackdown.
Vilma almost reading the play before it happens. Did a nice job, a nice anticipation that time from the middle linebacker. The freshman from Miami did a great job of getting into the backfield and really disrupting the play before it even had a chance to start. You see Blaine like a blaze coming out of the middle, number 51, Jonathan Vilma. Take a look right here. No one blocks him. He goes around the guard center area, and untouched, Vilma gets into the backfield for a tackle for a loss.
3rd and 10 for McNeese. Nagel out of the shotgun. Down the middle, complete to Redmond. And Redmond inside the Miami 20-yard line. First down for McNeese as they move the sticks with 5:21 left to go in the second quarter.
Well, Nagel was only 2 of his last 6 passes for 4 yards. This time on 3rd down comes up with a quick slant, a big play to the outside by Jimmy Redmond. We talked about hot and cold. They've been cold for a while. That time they come up big on 3rd down. You see last season Jimmy Redmond 416 yards, 4 touchdowns on 27 receptions.
Gain was 21 to the Miami 18-yard line. And again, Miami goes back to their 4 linebacker setup. Pierce the tailback behind Austell at the fullback.
Look for the play to go outside, Frank.
Pierce pick his way through the middle, and he gets down close to the 10-yard line. They'll mark it near the 11.
He's tripped up by
Aaron Pierce did a nice job of staying inside. It looked like they were going to go that 2 tight end and start inside and bounce it outside again, but reading his blockers beautifully, Aaron Pierce did a nice job of staying between the tackles and getting up into that Miami secondary for 5 or 6 yards.
Mark it at the 12-yard line, gain of 6, 2nd and 4. This time it's Burton, and he has stood up after a gain of about a yard. Dangerfield in there along with Adrian Wilson, numbers 47 and 96 for the Canes. Call it a gain of a yard for Burton. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
You know, Greg Schiano and the rest of that defensive staff does not want McNeese State into the end zone on this drive. A big 3rd down test coming up, 3rd and 3 for this Cane defense.
Philip Buchanan, by the way, it appears as you look at the rushing yards, has a toe injury. So Marquise Fitzgerald in there at the corner for Miami. On 3rd down, Burton. And he is stood up by Ken Dangerfield, who held that play to a very minimal gain, perhaps a yard. Dangerfield, the sophomore out of Patterson, Louisiana, knows a lot of guys on this McNeese State team.
Yeah,
Another look at Dangerfield. John.
No room to run for Jesse Burton, trying to get up the middle of the football field. In the first quarter, Burton had 61 yards rushing against his Hurricane defense. The second quarter, a different story. 3 carries, only 1 rushing yard.
So it's 4th and 2 for McNeese, and they'll go for it from the Miami 10-yard line. Dangerfield again in on that tackle along with James Lewis.
Well, Frank, I'm going to go on a limb again. I'm 1 for 1. I think he's short by a half a football.
Good look at Ken Dangerfield, 6'2", 225-pound sophomore from Patterson, Louisiana. And they will measure here for the first down with 2:56 left to go here in the second quarter at the Orange Bowl. Miami holding a 34-7 lead. And they are indeed short by almost a yard. So the Miami defense stiffens in the red zone, and the Canes will take over 1st and 10.
Nice 12-play 9-yard line, but a good job by the Hurricane defense coming up on 3rd down and then on 4th down.
I don't think Tate was happy with the spot. He leads the offense back on the field, backed up inside their 10-yard line. Pitch to Davenport. Good block from McPartland. Najee out to the 15-yard line, got 6 on 1st down.
We've seen James Jackson get on track already tonight, but you haven't seen Najee Davenport or Clinton Portis really run it up in there. They haven't had, especially Najee Davenport, really want to get into a little bit of rhythm with 2:30 left to go before halftime of pounding it inside the tackles and maybe busting a big run.
2nd and 4 for the Canes from the 15. Dorsey to throw. Complete to Mercer, his tight end, and he is cut down up at the 28-yard line by Gerard Jones. That's enough for a Miami 1st down. There's Santana Moss with the right ankle taped, and I doubt we'll see him again tonight, although he's putting the sock back on.
He's done enough damage tonight for Santana Moss. He's done a great job electrifying this crowd. Big touchdowns. You're going to get big plays from number 6 throughout this season, and it doesn't really matter who he's up against. He has enough talent to beat anybody in the country.
A punt return for a touchdown and a run on a reverse for a touchdown for Santana. 1st and 10 Canes with 1:58 to go in the second quarter. Quick outlet pass is complete as Reggie Wayne made the catch and picked up 5 yards.
Reggie Wayne pointing to his quarterback, Ken Dorsey, saying a good job because they did a corner blitz from the short side. Both guys recognize it. Ken Dorsey throws it to the outside for a quick completion.
And Wayne was not out of bounds, so Miami spends their first time out with 1:45 to go here in the second quarter. Reggie Wayne already with 2 touchdown catches tonight, and Reggie, another Louisiana native from Marrero, of course, came here and made a big splash as he broke Michael Irvin's freshman receiving record for number of catches.
Yeah, now he has 12 touchdown passes. That ties him 5th all-time on the Hurricane list with James Cox, who was here from 65 to 67.
Reggie Wayne and Santana Moss are an excellent set of receivers, and the backups are no scrubs either. When you look at Andre King and Darryl Jones.
Well, they can all get it done, Frank.
Santana Moss, 94 yards in punt returns tonight, and that has moved him up to 10th on the punt return yardage list. There's Santana, senior out of Carroll City High School. You mentioned his track exploits earlier.
You know, they say everything grows in the summertime. I'm going to have to ask Santana about that hair after the game.
I'll tell you who had some wild-looking hair about a week ago was Al Blades and Edward Reed. They normally have it in the rows, in the braids, and they let it all come out one day, right before their day off. There's the time of possession, and the Canes haven't had the football long, but they've generally been effective with it. 2nd and 5 from the 34. Dorsey going deep, and Andre King was grabbed by Gerard Jones, and that is going to be a penalty.
He was raped on the sideline by Jones. It looked like Andre King was going to go by him, and Gerard Jones actually did the right thing, is trying to tackle him before he could get by, because that would have been a huge play.
And Andre's mad. He wanted the football.
He knows it too.
Said the heck with those penalties. Pass interference is the call. And let's take a look at what Jones did. And this would be assault and battery on the street.
Yeah, on the right side, you see number 13. Well, you really can't see it on the play. You just see the result of Andre's face hitting first to the ground.
Against the defense.
That was a nice job by Gerard Jones, just holding up a big play, potentially a touchdown play.
So the ball moved to midfield. It's not a spot foul in college football like it is in pro football. So it really is, if you're beating in college football, it's the play to make. Mark it at the Miami 49. Excuse me, John, with 1:39 to go in the second quarter.
I'm sure the coaches at McNeese State will tell you that too. Go ahead and take the penalty. It won't hurt us as much as the touchdown.
Dorsey out of the shotgun. And the Canes moved early on the right side. Both Joaquin Gonzalez and Vernon Carey jumped the gun. Well, Vernon Carey, number 60, big lineman out of Miami Northwestern High School, in there at right guard, and Scott Puckett, the backup center, in there as well. As we get the call.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards from the succeeding spot, replay first down.
Right side of the screen,
yeah,
you see
big
both
number
Carey
60.
and Gonzalez. Vernon Carey, John, has an amazing amount of talent. The question with him is stamina. And we'll get into that a little more. On a 1st and 15, Dorsey flips it out incomplete to his tight end, Ivan Mercer. That'll bring up a 2nd and 15. But back to Vernon Carey. He was probably the highest rated lineman coming out of high school a year ago. And he just hasn't been able to really control his weight. He's never going to be a thin guy or a small guy. That 340 might be charitable. He's probably up closer to 360. They'd like him down around 340, 335. And if he could get there, he could be a dominating guard. The problem is, can he play 8, 10, 12 plays in a row effectively with stamina? Again, Dorsey out of the shotgun. Pass off the hands of Andre King, and that really was a pretty well-delivered football.
Yeah, I think that one surprised Andre King. That one beat him up a little bit. Ken Dorsey, really the same play they just came back to when we went to the quick slant, and it got up in his eyes, and Andre usually comes down with that with ease. This time that ball got on him a little bit quicker than he anticipated. You see him right there, had a little trouble finding the football, but it was right out in front of him. A good pass by Ken Dorsey.
And Dan Morgan has been taken to the Miami locker room. The middle linebacker has the jersey and shoulder pads off, and the training staff took him into the locker room to further check out that injury. It looked to be maybe a stinger, possibly a concussion.
And with 1:32 left before halftime, Frank, you would think Butch Davis and this staff would like to get into the end zone one more time with Ken Dorsey.
Did not run, therefore we'll replay the down. Clock will start on the snap.
And then possibly look to Ethnic Sands in the second half. You see Ken Dorsey's numbers, 9 completions for 112 yards and 3 big touchdowns.
On a 3rd and 15, Dorsey rifles it complete to Wayne at the McNeese 40 and taken down at the 35-yard line by Bruce Bolden. But that is a Hurricane first down as Reggie Wayne picks up 21 yards.
Yeah, Ken Dorsey reached back and got a little bit more. Now they're going no huddle with the clock going to start when they reset the chains. 1:25 left before halftime. Ken Dorsey wanting to get to the promised land one more time.
Dorsey again out of the shotgun. Firing incomplete for Robert Williams, his tight end. Williams well covered by Brad Archie, the linebacker.
Frank, you notice in the passing game with Miami right now with the tight end, Bubba Franks was so good at what he did. He could run away from the football. He never really had to square up to the quarterback and catch it with ease. Right now, the timing with the quarterback and tight end isn't there with Williams or Ivan Mercer. He's throwing the football on target, but those guys have to come down and get in the right spots to make the catch.
3 wideouts in the formation for Miami on a 2nd and 10 from the McNeese 34. Dorsey with time. Throws it complete to Darryl Jones down at the 15-yard line, where he is taken down by Arthur Goodley. But that is a Miami first down, and the clock will stop with 1:09 left in the second quarter as they'll move the chains.
Really like the way Ken Dorsey's stepping into these throws. Really untouched all night. He steps in and fires a strike. Perfect throw to number 1 on the outside. Darryl Jones hangs on to the football. A big hit from the outside by Goodley, but another timeout. Miami takes another timeout to stop the clock with 1:09 remaining before halftime. But you love the way Ken Dorsey, really no pressure around him. He knows that. He stands tall in the pocket and fires the rocket outside.
Completion good for 20 yards on the last play to Darryl Jones. Darryl Jones is a guy, John, he redshirted last year. As I said, Miami wanting to spread out the years with these talented wide receivers, but you know, he's made 2 game-winning catches in his career already.
West Virginia, that's the only image I have of Darryl Jones.
West Virginia and the overtime game in '97 at Boston
BC.
College as a freshman. So here's a guy who has done it in pressure situations, and he took the red shirt last year to benefit the team and himself a little bit because he's going to get more playing time now and next year. But Darryl Jones was a sprint champion coming out of Dallas Carter High School. Not the biggest guy in the world at 5'10", 190, but he can absolutely fly. Over 100 meters, he's faster than Santana.
Yeah, you know, they've got so much talent and so much speed outside and at the tailback spot. You just have to hope that Ken Dorsey matures into what they think, the coaching staff, what they think he can be. And he's showing glimpses of throwing the football down the field and spreading defenses out. That's what the Miami Hurricanes are going to have to do to be successful this year.
1st and 10 from the McNeese 14-yard line. Dorsey for Mercer, incomplete off his hands. The number 25, Archie Fairchild, almost had an interception. So one thing I've noticed about Mercer at workouts, he tends to drop a couple of balls in practice.
Tight ends have to do to be successful. They have to make themselves big when they're going to catch the football. It looks like Mercer goes away from the football. You have to go up and attack the football to be an effective tight end.
2nd and 10. Davenport on the draw, and he goes nowhere. In fact, he'll lose 3. Brad Archie on the tackle for the Cowboys, and again, timeout for Miami with 53 seconds to go. And now they're in a 3rd and 13.
Well, the next snap will match the drive McNeese State put together last time out. This will be the 12th play of this series with 53 seconds left to go, Frank. 3rd and 13 for this Hurricane team. And you want to say that Ken Dorsey's going to come out of this timeout looking for one of those wide receivers, try to spread the football out and look for a corner of the end zone to hit either a Reggie Wayne or a Darryl Jones going on a corner route.
Butch Davis calling his offense over. We'll discuss it with Ken Dorsey and company. Miami with a couple of the second-unit offensive linemen in there, but they are short a couple of offensive linemen. It's Greg LaFair and Sherko Haji Razuli sitting out this game. Greg LaFair told me if he had to play, he could, but there's no sense putting him in tonight. You want to get him ready for Washington. And pretty much the same thing with Sherko. 3rd down conversions. McNeese 2 of 9, Miami 3 of 5. And they would love a conversion here.
Yeah, they'll have to go 4 of 7 with 6 points on the board.
53 seconds to go, second quarter. Wayne, Jones, and King in the game of wide receiver for Miami. Davenport the only running back. This is the 3rd and 13 play. Dorsey sets up the screen to Davenport. Davenport hurdling inside the 10-yard line. Flipped down at the 8. And that'll bring up 4th down. And the field goal team will come on the field. Joe Judge flipping Najee Davenport.
And that's the best thing you see right there is Najee Davenport running off after taking a big hit after that reconstructive surgery last season. You don't want to see him take too many hits like this. Najee really trying to get airborne and hurdle the defender, but actually gets clipped at the last minute. And you see penalty flags on this field goal try.
It appeared that at least McNeese State was pointing that Miami made a move. But John, there's a new rule in this year that if the defense forces movement from the offensive line by flinching or what is called a non-football movement, the defense can actually be called for the penalty.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's what Butch Davis is trying to get across, although I don't think successfully.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty from succeeding spot. Replay 4th down.
Well, Miami moved back 5 yards. They determined that it was indeed not forced by McNeese State, that it was a false start. So Mosier will hold at the 20. A 30-yard try for Sievers. Kick is away, and the kick is good. Todd Sievers with the 30-yard field goal, and that increases Miami's lead to 37-7 with 17 seconds to go in the first quarter.
You like to see that. You like to see that from Todd, getting an opportunity to kick a field goal. That was the longest drive for Miami, making the score 37-7 with 17 seconds before halftime.
Well, John, one of the things that probably is bothering the Miami coaching staff right now, they're getting guys nicked up. Morgan is out. Philip Buchanan is out. Santana probably will be okay, but he had to come out of the game a couple of times. A 13-play drive for the Hurricanes, and Art Keogh, the offensive line coach, getting in the face of a couple of his guys because, John, on that screen pass, I didn't think the lineman got out in front.
I don't think they did. No, and Art's a guy that he just wants answers. He doesn't want a lot of yeah, but. He asks a question, he wants an answer. Who did?
Art's been the one constant in this program through the Schnellenberger era, the Jimmy Johnson era, the Butch Davis era, the Dennis Erickson era. He's been the one constant throughout all of that, the big offensive line coach.
And he's been very good at what he does.
Jermaine Martin and Marcus Turner back to receive the Todd Sievers kickoff with 17 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Hurricanes with a 37-7 lead. I would assume we would see mostly backups in the second half. Butch Davis definitely going to get Santana or Ethnic Sands some snaps at the number 2 quarterback spot. Ethnic, who played last year as a wide receiver, but was a high school quarterback, is right now Miami's number 2 quarterback with absolutely no game experience at that position at least. Sievers to kick it away. Low along the ground. And this will be Turner at the 11. Turner ran into his own man and then taken down at the 26-yard line. Number 29, James Scott with the special teams tackle for Miami. And so McNeese will get a snap or two with 12 seconds to go. I heard of following your blockers, John, but this may be a little extreme.
It's tough enough out there with the orange jerseys flying down at you, but running into your own guys, that doesn't help either. And you see Marcus Turner really getting kissed because of that. He had some room to the inside, but actually ran up the back of one of his partners out there.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys from their 27. Nagel under center. Gives it to Trahan. And Trahan up across the 30 to the 33 where Mike Rump makes the tackle. It's a gain of 6. Michael Allen in at quarterback for McNeese State on the last snap, and that'll end the first half. As the gun sounds, and McNeese will walk to the locker room trailing the number 5 ranked Miami Hurricanes by a score of 37-7. Santana Moss with a couple of touchdowns, Reggie Wayne with a couple of touchdown catches, and Darrell Jones with a touchdown catch. We'll be back with our halftime activities from the Orange Bowl right after this on Fox Sports Net. The Canes lead it 37-7.
There's nothing going on here tonight.
Ever notice if you rub your eyes for a while, you start to see little stars and stuff? You see?
No, I don't see anything.
You gotta rub harder.
Red dots, okay? Is that what I'm... This is great.
Wait. You see it?
Oh, yeah.
I got flashes.
Whoa.
I see blurry blobs. 2 of them.
Ooh, lightning.
It's like a French painting.
Big night out.
Tiny amoebas marching together.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
It's on me, guys.
Thanks. See, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
If you can meet the challenge, if you can survive the unexpected, if you can go where few dare to go, you could be cruising in the ultimate street machine, this highly collectible 2000 PT Cruiser. Come into your area US Unwired store and register for your chance to compete in the Survival Challenge. Finalists will be drawn on September 22nd, and on September 29th, one lucky winner will drive away in a new PT Cruiser. Register for the Survival Challenge at US Unwired today.
Now from the Fox 29 Broadcast Center, this is a Fox 29 News Update.
And
And good evening, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the game. I'm Carrie Anderson. Welcome to a special halftime show brought to you tonight by Fox 29. In the next 20 minutes, we'll preview the team's upcoming season, take a look behind the scenes at the university's state-of-the-art new training center, and examine some of the talent both on the field and in the coaching staff. But first, we'll get you caught up on all of the day's news. Take a look. This sign says it all. The heat is on. Bank thermometers in Lake Charles registering triple digits today. ACs are cranked to full blast. Ice cream sales are thriving. The question, is there enough juice to keep us all cool? Entergy is asking you to voluntarily cut back on power consumption. The company says it believes it has adequate supplies of electricity to meet demand, but will cut service to certain industrial and wholesale customers if it becomes necessary. So what can you do? Well, to begin, raise those thermostats to 75 degrees or higher and use fans whenever possible. Close your blinds and drapes to keep direct sunlight out, and delay your laundry, bathing, and dishwashing until later in the evening or early in the morning. Those activities increase humidity in the house and make your AC have to work even harder. Now, Fox 29 isn't immune to power problems. If you were watching the news at 9 last night, you noticed we never finished. That's because the studio was plunged into darkness just as we were about to do weather. Entergy tells us a transformer blew at its Contraband substation. It was an interesting evening, to say the least. Eddie DeBartolo Jr. wants to end his probation early, but a judge says no way to letting the former 49ers owner off the hook 2 months early. DeBartolo pleaded guilty to failing to report that he paid Edwin Edwards $400,000 to secure a riverboat casino license. He was placed on 2 years probation after testifying in the former governor's trial. DeBartolo calls himself a, quote, victim who acted out of fear. A Cameron seafood company is in hot water tonight for buying and selling hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of oysters they got illegally. A Lake Charles jury deliberated for about 6 hours Wednesday before handing down its verdict against Roosevelt Fountain Sr. and his daughter Shirley Fountain Ellison. They were convicted of all but one charge in a 16-count felony indictment. Fountain Seafood violated the Lacey Act, a wildlife protection law. If you feel the need for speed this weekend, better look up in the sky before you put pedal to the metal, because state police have a bird's eye view of your driving habits. State police are using choppers like this one to catch speeders. They've got marks in strategic places on all of the major interstates. The chopper pilot times how long it takes a driver to get from point A to point B, and if you're speeding, he radios ahead to a trooper on the ground who stops you to write a ticket. Authorities say this eye in the sky is working to slow things down on the interstate.
Speed near as much. They slow down when they come through these areas. The people that we really get are the out-of-state travelers that traveling from Texas to Mississippi and so forth that come through at rather high speeds.
Statewide, there are 6 of the speed-busting choppers and 4 aircraft. There's a whole lot of building going on in Sulphur. Hibernia National Bank today donated $10,000 to Habitat for Humanity. In addition, it arranged $100,000 in federal funding to build 6 homes in Sulphur and 6 Habitat homes in Lake Charles. A foundation celebration was held today at the site of the first home under construction. Its new owner is a single father with 4 daughters. Still ahead on this Fox 29 halftime special, a new coach and some staff shuffling. How will it impact the team? Plus, what challenges face the Cowboys in the 2000-2001 season? Our Matthew Watney with a preview straight ahead.
Come party with the Pirates. The Lake Charles Ice Pirates invite you up to the Crow's Nest in the Civic Center for a Saints game on the big screen and drawings for free Ice Pirates prizes. This Sunday, see the Saints versus Detroit Lions live from the Crow's Nest. Doors open at 11. Game kicks off at 12 noon. Plus, get your Ice Pirates season tickets now on sale. Call 436-0055 today. The puck drops Friday, October 13th for the first home game. So come party with the Pirates.
It's clearance time, Southwest Louisiana, with our lowest prices of the year on Hondas, the best-selling cars in Lake Charles. As we close out the biggest sales year in our history, come save big on the #1 selling car in all of Lake Charles, the Honda Accord. Plus, choose from a tremendous selection of new Honda Civics, CRVs, and Passports, all with 4.9% financing. Billy Navarre declares a year-end clearance price war, with prices we challenge any dealer in America to beat at Billy Navarre Honda I-210 in Lake Charles.
What is Service Master Clean?
It's as tough as making sure your carpets always look their best. And as easy as making sure your rugs do, too. It's responding quickly to get fire and water damage out of your home, while keeping what you want in your home.
Service Master by Jack. Call 478-1133.
Fox 29. You gotta watch it. Fox 29.
Turn it up now. All right. Turn it up now.
Welcome back to Fox 29's special halftime show. I'm Carrie Anderson. MCneese finished 1999 6-5, but they went 4-1 to close the season. As Fox 29's Matthew Watney reports, the players and coaches look to capitalize on what went right in those last 5 games.
Among the highlights in a disappointing 6-5 1999 campaign was a 24-7 upset of then #1 Troy State. The Cowboys say chemistry among players and coaches improved over the last 5 games.
We just got closer and we started playing harder for each other.
They're expecting that to carry over into 2000 based on off-season workouts.
The Tuesdays, they were very intense. We had a lot of hard hitting, a lot of people jumping around, back to the way MCneese used to play football, and I'm very excited about this season.
Burton admits last season wasn't his best. MCneese will have to improve its running game that did not have a 1,000-yard rusher and scored only 9 touchdowns in '99. That forced the Cowboys to pass more often early in the game. MCneese also looks to reduce last year's 3 turnover a game average while using more of the field.
I really think we have some athletes with a lot of speed at a lot of different positions, and I think we need to spread the ball around offensively. You got to be able to protect the ball offensively too.
And although they start 2000 against Miami, players expect it to make them better for the other 10 games.
And they give us a look at some real talent, so when it comes down to conference, the talent, they'll still have big play guys, but it won't be the overall as Miami.
With 14 starters returning, including 9 preseason all-conference players, a significant improvement on 1999 is expected. Matthew Watney, Fox 29 Sports.
Thank you, Matthew. When he took over, new coach Tommy Tate made some coaching shuffles. Linebackers coach Matt Viator moves from the defensive side of the ball to his specialty offensive coordinator. Coach Scott Stoker goes from offensive coordinator to the defensive coordinator. These moves could be the ones that make Coach Tate look like a genius. Here's Fox 29 Sports Director Joe Pequeno.
Under new offensive coordinator Matt Viator, quarterbacks Slade Nagel and company were unstoppable in the fall scrimmages. Viator's dynamic flair for calling plays could elevate the Cowboys to one of the top units in Division I AA.
We're going to try to run it, but when the opportunity presents itself, we do want to spread it around, and I think we have some guys on the outside that can make plays, and we have a quarterback can get it to them. So at times we will appear to be more wide open, but we still our goal is to be able to run the ball.
He likes to open it up. He likes going for the home run a lot, throwing the ball deep, and basically, from what I've seen from him, he likes, from what everybody said, he likes to change week to week. Game plan against teams and everything. So this is going to be a positive experience for us. So we're looking forward to it.
Defensively, 7-year assistant Scott Stoker will run the show. Just like the Cowboy teams of the past, Stoker plans to attack, and attack.
Well, basically just, plan to bring a lot of, we're going to blitz a lot more, put a lot of pressure on offense, try to make them at least one-dimensional. And that's our main goal right now.
That's a madman right there. He's no doubt in his scheme. He's coming with it. He's real aggressive, and that's what you need, I think, on the defensive side of the ball. You need somebody who will bring it, and that's definitely what Stoker does.
The new coordinators will have dominating lines and great athletes to work with. If they can keep the opposition off balance and second-guessing, a playoff appearance could be calling for the Cowboys. Joe Pequeno, Fox 29 Sports.
Thank you, Joe. The MCneese State coaching staff went through a number of changes in the offseason. One of the new faces on the sideline is secondary coach and MCneese alum Lance Guidry. Here's Fox 29's Matthew Watney.
Since graduating from MCneese in 1995, Lance Guidry has bounced around high schools in southwest Louisiana. New MCneese head coach Tommy Tate has said he's always had Guidry in mind to be an assistant if he ever became a head coach.
I always thought that he did a great job of coaching, and he understands the secondary play. Brings a lot of excitement, brings a lot of emotion to the team, brings a lot of youth to the team.
Guidry inherits a secondary that made 11 interceptions last year. Although they've been beaten scrimmages as they learn Guidry's plan, Lance envisions a defensive backfield filled with hard hitters who put fear in opposing receivers.
But they're getting more comfortable with it, and we're going to have to mix up and play some different type games with the receivers. And it's all new to them, but as the year goes on, we're going to get solid at it.
For the players, getting adjusted to their new coach is made easier by Guidry's playing experience as a Cowboy.
He comes in with a lot of energy. Coach Guidry gets fired up just as much as the players on big plays, on big hits. He played at MCneese, so he understands what we're going through as far as playing 5 DBs on the field.
And being back on home turf around family and friends has made Guidry's job easier. Matthew Watney, Fox 29 Sports.
Straight ahead on Fox 29's halftime special, when MCneese athletes take a hit on the field, help for their injuries is now an arm's reach away at a new campus rehab center. A behind-the-scenes tour is next. Don't go away.
You know, my surgery was all about getting back to my old self. At Surgicare, I received exceptional care from their experienced professional staff. Since Surgicare of Lake Charles is designed exclusively for outpatient surgery, they were able to offer me a convenient, comfortable, and less costly alternative to a big hospital. The center's warm surroundings and personal attention minimized the stress of my surgery and allowed me to complete my recovery in the comfort of my own home. So do what I did. Ask your doctor, can I have my surgery at Surgicare?
Summertime, summertime, summertime.
That's right, it's summertime hideout, folks, and so are the deals at Lake Charles Toyota. So come see us for sizzling summer savings on all our inventory. We got a great selection of used cars, including Program 2000 Corolla CEs for just $12,995 or 99 Camry LE just $15,495. We got a car to fit your wants and budget. So don't go walking that sizzling sidewalk. Come to Lake Charles Toyota for sizzling summer savings special. So get a hot deal on some cool wheels and spend the rest of your summertime chilling out.
The Partners in Education are pleased to provide a network of support for teachers and students to enhance educational programs and boost the morale of the students. Citgo is proud to support the Career Center, E.K. Key Elementary, and Sulphur High School in a variety of projects to spark interest and increase student participation. Please help us support Partners in Education. Brought to you by Citgo and Fox 29. If you can meet the challenge, if you can survive the unexpected, if you can go where few dare to go, you could be cruising in the ultimate street machine, this highly collectible 2000 PT Cruiser. Come into your area US Unwired store and register for your chance to compete in the Survival Challenge. Finalists will be drawn on September 22nd, and on September 29th, one lucky winner will drive away in a new PT Cruiser. Register for the Survival Challenge at US Unwired today.
Contact sport, and that means minor and often major injuries. But this year's Cowboys may head back to the field sooner than ever before thanks to a new state-of-the-art training. Jason Rivera with a look inside.
Version win, the quarterback in the shotgun takes the snap, looks right, dance, oh, he is belted.
Getting bruised, bumped, and banged up, it's all part of playing the game. MCneese knows this and reassured their folks they would receive the best sports care in the state by building
the all-new Doc Fono Sports Medicine Center. This is a $600,000 state-of-the-art facility dedicated to treat and cure MCneese State University athletes on their injuries.
Other universities are going to see that MCneese has made a commitment to their athletes to provide the best medical care they can and have a facility that is able to do what they need to have done.
From icing down, taping, evaluating, treatments, and rehabilitation, this facility is equipped to handle all 380 male and female participating athletes with injuries.
We have a number of different pieces of equipment. Depending on what their injury is and where it's at, will determine what piece they'll use.
This top-of-the-line athletic medical training facility could possibly be the final factor for the decision of an athlete coming to play for McNeese or not?
Well, I think as far as recruiting process, when athletes see the type of facility that's going to be available to them, that's going to impress them.
I think it's going to help McNeese in not just football, but all sports.
Jason Rivera for Fox 29 Sports.
And that is going to wrap up this Fox 29 halftime special. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again right after the McNeese game for a delayed version of the News at 9. Good night.
You know, all I wanted was a checking account. So were all the questions. Because let's face it, I've always been a little hard to fit.
Treating you better. It's what we do best. Cameron State Bank. Personal banking at its best.
Trees. Trees are my future, and we have to make sure they're here when I grow up. That's why Boise Cascade plants over 10 million trees every year in Louisiana. And for that, I would like to say thank you. Especially to my mom and dad, foresters for Boise Cascade.
Boise Cascade, providing the products you use, protecting the environment we share.
What is Service Master Clean? It's as tough as making sure your carpets always look their best. And as easy as making sure your rugs do, too. It's responding quickly to get fire and water damage out of your home, while keeping what you want in your home. That's Service Master Clean. Service Master by Jack. Call 478-1133.
Is Beauregard Electric committed to the communities they serve?
Beauregard Electric is partners in education with 4 schools in 3 parishes. We've sent high school students to Washington, D.C. through the Youth Tour Essay Contest for 20 years. We have awarded 31 scholarships over the last 6 years. Beauregard Electric offers safety education to schools, organizations, and area festivals. And you bet, Beauregard Electric is committed to our communities. And did I mention, our offices are still in town.
WatchFox.com, the website of Fox 29, designed and hosted by National Networks.
Start of the second half here in the Orange Bowl. Frank Forte and John Congemi with you on Fox Sports Net. The Miami Hurricanes with a 37-7 lead over the Cowboys of McNeese State from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Here's a look at the Associated Press top 10. This, of course, is the voting by the media members. Nebraska at 1, Florida State 2, followed by Bama, Wisconsin. The Hurricanes at 5, Michigan, Texas, K-State, Florida, and Georgia. Ken Dorsey with a good first half, 12 out of 21, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Yeah, I thought Ken Dorsey really made the big play in the first half. Threw the football very effectively to the outside and down the field. Was very sharp, getting quick slants as well. The only thing he probably would like to have a couple throws back to the tight ends where he could get a little bit more in rhythm with that short to intermediate pass over the middle.
And I'm sure we'll see plenty of ethnic sands here in the second half. Miami will kick off to begin quarter number 3 as McNeese State won the toss at the start of the ball game and deferred to the second half. One thing about those rankings, John, I tend to err on the side of caution or pessimism, call it whatever you want. But I think for a team that lost their starting quarterback, an All-American tight end, an All-American middle linebacker, and their 2 best offensive linemen, that to be ranked 10 spots ahead of where you finished last year is a little bit high. Yeah, I think Miami probably should have started out in the 8, 9, 10 range.
And to go into the season with a quarterback that has only started 3 football games for you as well. So, you know, they have the talent. You have to look at the skill positions, and you have to look at the defense that came back on this football team. They deserve the ranking, as you said, somewhere in that top 10, but I would favor with you closer to 9, 10, maybe, 8, 9, 10, something like that.
And it hasn't looked like a top 10 running defense tonight. You got to give McNeese State a little credit for that.
Yeah, but I think
Miami's defensive coaches, I'm sure, are very disappointed in the defensive line work in the first half versus the run. Seaver's kickoff carries to the end zone. Martin will come out. And Martin is clotheslined at the 17-yard line. That looked like Daryl McClover, the freshman linebacker, number 49. Well, I'll tell you what, Miami's got a great set of young linebackers, the true freshmen. Let's take another look at.
And they fly to the football, Frank. There's got to be an S underneath that 49 right here. He's in the air a couple yards and he goes out with the right hand. That's a nice job of getting a tackle. That's what you need on special teams. Kickoff cover is not for the faint of heart. You have to go down and make a play. That time a great play was made.
Slade Nagel in at quarterback for McNeese. Gives it to Burton, and Dangerfield met him in the hole. And virtually no gain on that play. Ken Dangerfield, the beast, the coaches call him, at 6'2", 225. He is well put together.
Yeah, physical specimen at the linebacker position is number 47, Ken Dangerfield. You see 6 tackles, 3 of those solos. He hasn't gotten to the quarterback yet, but he's been in on a lot of tackles. He's been around the football, and that's what Bush Davis and Greg Schiano, that's what they like to see out of these linebackers.
No gain on the last play, 2nd and 10 for McNeese. They go with the double tight end. Nagel, 3-step drop, complete to Martin, and he is tackled immediately by Leonard Myers. Minimal gain of about 1.5 yards.
Well, Frank, that's the same area of the football field Leonard Myers had his pick, and he had great anticipation on that play as well as this one. Just a 3-step drop by Nagel, quick hitch to the outside, and Myers is all over the football as well as Martin, the wide receiver, almost gets there at the same time and rips his helmet off, really back towards the McNeese State end zone. A nice play on the outside by your cornerback.
Miami comes in with their dime defensive package. Nagel out of the shotgun. Flips it out in the flat. Complete. Fumble the football. And they're going to call it incomplete. Burton had it for a moment. He was stripped. And they call incomplete pass.
Well, first it was the senior Leonard Myers on the short side. Now Mike Rumpf to the wide side. The junior cornerback comes out. Actually a great effort by Burton to try to catch the football. Al Blades, seeing it was an incomplete pass, lets the football go, but Howard Clark on top of it. The Hurricanes very impressive coming out on the first 3 sets, first 3 plays on defense, putting a stop to McNeese State.
There was a flag thrown. It appeared to be after the play.
Illegal participation, 12 men on the field for the defense, 15-yard penalty.
Well, Miami had 12 men on the field.
It's enough for a first down.
So the result is a first down.
Let's go Kings! All right, Kings!
Well, that is a mental error by someone on the Miami sideline, whether it be a coach getting guys in and out or one of the guys in the dime package.
Well, you mentioned nickel. It must have been dime. It might have been 15 cents, Frank, because they had 12 guys out there. You couldn't tell them. It had to be an extra linebacker or defensive back. You see Slade Nagel's numbers on the evening, 10 of 19 for 71 yards and two interceptions.
More disturbing news for Miami. They're checking Chris Campbell out on the sideline. Nagel with play action. Throwing it down the middle, and that's intercepted by Edward Reed. Edward Reed back to the 40 of McNeese State. Still going. And now they say he stepped out of bounds back at the 37-yard line. So Ed Reed comes up with Miami's 3rd interception of the night.
We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Edward Reed has been coming back from his strong safety position into the free safety slot on first down, and he'll alternate with Al Blades. This time you see Blades, number 7, close to the line of scrimmage. The ball just hangs way too long in the middle of the football field. A great play by Edward Reed stepping in front, tries to stay in bounds. It looked like he did stay in bounds. Maybe that last step right there is out of bounds, but Edward Reed had 2 picks last season. He comes up with his first of the season right there, stepping in front of the wide receiver. The ball just hung too long in the air. Edward Reed, a big play.
Junior from St. Rose, Louisiana with the turnover. Miami 1st and 10. This is James Jackson across the 35 to the 32-yard line. Picked up 5 or 6 on first down. Ben Duhan, number 47, along with number 45, Chris Winfont, in on the tackle. Dorsey remaining in the ball game to start this 3rd quarter, which has 13 minutes to go.
In 5th all-time on the list of Miami rushers with 1,947 yards. He knows how to make big plays. That's his expertise, Frank.
2nd and 5 for the Canes from the Cowboy 32. Robert Williams in motion. Give this to Jackson. Trying to pick his way through and will get only about 1 yard. Ben Duhan again in on the tackle for McNeese. It'll bring up 3rd and about 4 for the Hurricanes.
Really no running room between the tackles that time. The offensive line from Miami got no push down the line of scrimmage. You see James Jackson's numbers on the evening, 61 yards out of 8 rushes. And now it brings up a 3rd and 5 for the Canes. Look for Ken Dorsey to go outside to one of his fleet-footed wide receivers.
And it is the first unit offensive line in for Miami. 3rd down play for the Canes. Fake to Jackson. Dorsey firing, complete to Mercer at the 15-yard line, and down he goes at the 13. Arthur Goodley and Gerard Jones combined on the tackle, but Miami has a first down in the red zone.
Nice play fake that time by Ken Dorsey, really holding the offensive line or the defensive line right where he wanted him to. Watch the play fake. He shows the football and then he goes back out to the right side. He had the first down, it looked like, early, but he waited for his tight end to clear. You see them, the big tight end, 6'7", 245 pounds worth of Ivan Mercer. A nice catch that time, an easy pitch and catch for the Hurricanes.
Gain was 19. First down and 10 for the Canes at the 13-yard line of McNeese. Dorsey, with everybody stacked in on the McNeese defense, throws for Andre King, incomplete. Bruce Bolden had the coverage. Fans wanted a penalty, but no call is forthcoming. And it'll be 2nd and 10. 11:25 left to go, 3rd quarter.
Nice audible at the line of scrimmage. Andre King reads the sign language. He gave him the hand signal for the quick slant. The ball right on the money. Andre King could have made a tough catch there, but he wanted that ball desperately.
Reggie Wayne, the only wide receiver in on this formation for the Canes on a 2nd and 10. Mercer in motion. Give us to Jackson, short side. Jackson tripped up in the backfield and taken down for a loss. Number 9, Hadley Prince, beat the block of Robert Williams and made the tackle for a loss of almost 3.
Well, he sure did. A great play by the undersized Hadley Prince, 5'9", 196-pound sophomore, going up against Robert Williams. He's 6'4", 240 pounds, but he gets lower than Robert Williams. That was the key right there. He was determined to get penetration to the outside. Hadley Prince had his shoulder pads lower than Robert Williams.
And Robert Williams just got an earful from Don Solinger, the offensive backs coach for the Canes. 3rd and 12 for Miami. Dorsey out of the shotgun. Lofts it to the end zone. Mercer had it knocked away at the last moment. Gerard Jones made a nice play to prevent the touchdown.
Yeah, that time Ken Dorsey really looked like he predetermined where he was going with the football. He wanted Mercer in the corner of the end zone, but when he watches the film tomorrow, he's going to see as soon as he took his eyes up the football field, Daryl Jones was standing all by himself around the 10-yard line and had enough for the first down. Sometimes you make plays like that, and it's a good play when you get to the sidelines. Tomorrow, you'll see where the ball should have went.
Todd Severs will attempt a field goal from 33 yards out, and a stray football comes on the field from the McNeese State sideline. Well, that's an interesting distraction.
Anything it takes right now, Frank. At 37-7, you'll try anything.
So they'll give the Canes a chance to regroup, rehuddle, and get set again. As the Canes could not punch it in the end zone following the Edward Reed interception, they'll try and get 3 out of it. Off the foot of Todd Severs. Aaron Mosier to hold. This from 33 yards out. Severs with plenty of distance and plenty of accuracy as well. Todd Severs converting his 2nd field goal, and the Canes, with 10:36 left to go in the 3rd quarter, now lead McNeese State by a score of 40-7. The 3-pointer set up by the Edward Reed interception. We'll be back from the Orange Bowl right after this. 10:36 to go, 3rd quarter.
Look, don't even ask me about convenience, all right? I mean, the place I bank's got to be convenient. I just want to know that somebody's going to be there to answer any question I've got. Personal service. Personal service. Personal service. You got it?
Treating you better. It's what we do best. Cameron State Bank. Personal banking at its best.
There's nothing going on here tonight. Ever notice if you rub your eyes for a while, you start to see little stars and stuff? You see?
No, I don't see anything.
You gotta rub harder.
Red dots, okay? Is that what I'm... This is great.
Wait. You see it?
Oh, yeah.
I got Flash.
Whoa. I see blurry blobs. 2 of them.
Ooh, lightning. It's like a French painting.
Big night out.
Tiny amoebas marching together.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
It's on me, guys.
Thanks. See, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
The college football season is underway and the excitement has started. You have an exclusive pass to an in-depth inside look at what's coming up with your favorite Florida college team when you tune in at 10 o'clock for the Saturday morning college kickoff show. Join our experienced team of anchors and reporters as they highlight Florida college football. Start your morning off right with the Saturday morning college kickoff show at Saturdays at 10 a.m. only on Fox Sports Net. The Canes, a 7-play, 22-yard drive culminating in the 33-yard field goal by Todd Severs, who now kicks off deep to the end zone. Martin takes it about 4 yards deep and he'll come out. Martin up the sideline. Martin run out of bounds by Todd Severs, the kicker, and that was a pretty good collision up at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, I think Todd was the receiver of that, and Jermaine Martin had a full head of steam coming up the Hurricane sideline. We talked about the speed of the skill receivers on McNeese State, and they do a great job of getting up the football field. Just take a listen to this coming up the sideline.
Todd's not a small guy.
No, I know.
He goes about 215.
I think he'll get some kudos from the defense on that.
1st and 10 for Slade Nagel and the Cowboys at their own 28. Give is to Trahan, and Trahan dragged down at the 30-yard line. Al Blades, strong safety, up to make the tackle. So good in run support is Al Blades. He is one of the best safeties in all of America in run support.
Yeah, and I think the wrinkle that Greg Schiano is putting in, moving him closer to the line of scrimmage on 1st down, is enabling Al to get in more action and to make more tackles closer to the line of scrimmage instead of 7, 8, 9 yards down the football field. He's on the line of scrimmage and sometimes in the backfield.
Gain of 2 on the last play. It'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Lawton and Pierce now in the eye behind Nagel. This is Lawton, a fullback, and he takes a hit in the hole after picking up about a yard. Just a whole swarm of Hurricanes there. William Joseph, number 94, on the bottom of the pile.
Yeah,
Howard Clark and Al Blades also got in there.
Howard Clark having a nice game and a nice evening. You see William Joseph, number 94. Haven't called his name much, as well as Damian Lewis and the guys up front, but the linebackers are sure finding their way to the football tonight.
Pickup was 2 officially. It'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Cowboys. 9:20 and the clock moving here in the 3rd quarter with Miami comfortably in front 40-7. Nagel gives it to Pierce, and Pierce up to the 35-yard line, but he's well shy of the 1st down. William Joseph, number 94, the big sophomore out of Miami Edison High School, 6'5", 290, making the tackle. By the way, his brother, Carlos, a true freshman on the defensive line, weighs about 305.
Frank, all you have to do is talk about him, and they'll make a play.
Absolutely. William, very good against the run last year, wants to upgrade the pass rush this season. Well, it's going to be tough to get a sack tonight. McNeese has been doing very little other than three-step drops when they throw. Darrell Jones in to return the punt of David Latta. And now the official signal time. And it appears Howard Clark has an equipment problem that the officials have to send him out of the game. So they will restart the clock at 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go 3rd quarter. Latta gets it away. This is his best kick of the night. Driving Darrell Jones back to the Hurricane 20. Gets away from the first tackler and gets what he can up the sideline, up to the Miami 32-yard line. A return of 12 as he's run out by Matt Gore and Hadley Prince. 45 yards on the punt. Miami takes over 1st and 10 at their 32-yard line. 8:07 left to go 3rd quarter. Canes lead it here at the Orange Bowl, 40-7.
If you can meet the challenge, if you can survive the unexpected, if you can go where few dare to go, you could be cruising in the ultimate street machine, this highly collectible 2000 PT Cruiser. Come into your area US Unwired store and register for your chance to compete in the Survival Challenge. Finalists will be drawn on September 22nd, and on September 29th, one lucky winner will drive away in a new PT Cruiser. Register for the Survival Challenge at US Unwired today.
First down for Miami. I want to welcome back our fans watching in Lake Charles, Louisiana. The Canes on the first play from scrimmage, a Ken Dorsey completion to Darrell Jones down to the 41-yard line of McNeese State.
Actually, Jimmy Abrams, number 42, pulls Darrell Jones back in to the playing field. Looked like he was going to go out of bounds, and great balance by Jones, tiptoeing on the sidelines, gets about 10 more yards on the reception.
27 yards on the completion to Darrell Jones to the McNeese 41-yard line. Dorsey, pump fake, and going deep. This is Jason Gathers, the freshman, a one-hand catch. They say he was out of bounds. A spectacular catch, but it will not count. Andre Johnson making the catch, not Gathers. Gathers is number 3, Johnson number 5. Very similar body types, but this is the redshirt freshman from Miami High. Well, this guy has an incredible build for a wide receiver, and you see he's got some hands here.
Another audible at the line of scrimmage. Let's take a look. It looked like half in, half out. It doesn't count here, but a nice grab, one-handed catch. He's in bounds, Frank.
From that replay, it appeared his left foot was in while he had control of the football.
That was a bad call. That was a great catch.
2nd and 10 for the Hurricanes. 3 wideouts in the formation. Dorsey
nobody
with the blitz
outside.
Coming. Complete to Andre King. Andre King inside the 20 and run out at the 17-yard line by Hadley Prince. But that is a Miami first down, a pickup of 24 yards.
Great heads-up play by quarterback and wide receiver Ken Dorsey and King on the outside. Nobody lined up, really an uncovered player to the right side. Quick snap, and Ken Dorsey sees it very alertly, gets the football out to Andre King. Just a mishap defensively by McNeese State. And a nice job of recognizing that. Prince driving King out of bounds, but not until a big gain for the Hurricanes.
24 yards on the completion. 1st and 10 Miami from the Cowboys 17. Dorsey flips it to his tight end. That's Jeremy Shockey, the junior college transfer, and he picks up about 4 on first down. And penalty flags in there.
Yeah, after the play was blown dead, it looked like some of the linemen were still continuing down the field. It might be going both ways, but it looked like someone from McNeese State, number 45, Chris Winfont, one of the linebackers, were getting into it with number 72, Ed Wilkins from Miami.
Well, the officials will try to sort this out. Our crew tonight headed by the referee Penn Wagers.
Dead ball, personal foul against the defense. Dead ball, personal foul against the offense. Penalties offset. It's 2nd down. 2nd down.
So the play will count as the penalties came after the play was over, and it will remain a 2nd down and about 6 for Miami as Jeremy Shockey picks up his first college reception. And the ball now just inside the McNeese 14-yard line. Ken Dorsey still in there with 7:35 to go, 3rd quarter. But I'm quite sure this will be his last series. Dorsey with the blitz coming. Wide open is Shockey. Shockey to the 5 and bumped out of bounds by Gerard Jones at about the 2. Jeremy Shockey, 6'6", 245-pound sophomore from Ada, Oklahoma. Went to Northeastern Oklahoma Junior College and found out he was eligible just weeks before this season to go to the 4-year school and accepted Miami's scholarship offer.
Yeah, again in this drive, an uncovered receiver. Looks like McNeese State trying to get to the quarterback, Ken Dorsey. They haven't been able to get there all night, and just a wide open Shockey, the tight end, going off the right side, getting the ball down to the 2-yard line.
1st and goal, Hurricanes. Davenport and McPartland in the eye. Williams in motion. Give us to Davenport. Najee leaping and spinning and down just shy of the goal line. And Najee gets up a little bit gingerly. Brett Romberg is still down for the Hurricanes. And now he walks back to the huddle. But he appears to be in a little bit of distress. A sophomore out of Windsor, Ontario, 6'3", 290-pounder. Scott Puckett now coming in to replace him. I'll tell you what, the Canes can't afford to get any more guys banged up.
It looked like Hadley Prince, number 9, one of the strong safeties, coming down and getting Najee Davenport right around the ankles, flipping him as he was going up into the air. You see Brett Romberg coming out of the football game. You'd like to see Davenport on the ground a little bit more than going up in the air.
2nd and goal for the Canes. This is McPartland diving over the top, and it's a touchdown. Will McPartland with the rushing touchdown from a yard away, and the Hurricanes lead at 46-7.
I think Najee went back in the huddle and said, Will, you're a little bit more solid than I am. Why don't you go over the top and try your luck? Will does. He gets up over the pile. You see Ken Dorsey coming down after engineering that drive. Dorsey on the evening, 17 of 29 for 248 and 3 touchdowns. But you see Will McPartland getting his first score of this young season, going over the top for the Hurricanes.
Dorsey all smiles on the Miami sideline, as Severs will attempt the extra point, and he knocks it through with 7:03 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Miami now with a 47-7 lead, a 7-play, 68-yard drive for the Canes. It took only 1 minute and 4 seconds, and Will McPartland, the former walk-on from Scranton, Pennsylvania, gets his first touchdown of the year. We'll be right back from the Orange Bowl. 7:03 to go 3rd quarter. Canes lead by 40.
How strong are Billy Navarre's volume prices? Well, Billy Navarre is the largest Chevrolet dealer in the state of Louisiana, outselling Lafayette, Baton Rouge, and even New Orleans. And right now, it's closeout time. Billy Navarre's prices are the lowest of the year. You'll save $2,000 on every red tag vehicle, $3,000 on every white tag, $4,000 on every blue tag, and $5,000 on every gold tag. And with over 500 closeout 2000s to sell, we'd have to sell for less. It's an all-out year-end price war at Billy Navarre Chevrolet and Lake Charles or Sulphur.
Is Beauregard Electric committed to the communities they serve?
Beauregard Electric is partners in education with 4 schools and 3 parishes. We've sent high school students to Washington, D.C. through the Youth Tour Essay Contest for 20 years. We have awarded 31 scholarships over the last 6 years. Beauregard Electric offers safety education to schools, organizations, and area festivals. And you bet, Beauregard Electric is committed to our communities. And did I mention, our offices are still in town.
7:03 to go 3rd quarter. Miami leading 47-7. 7:03 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and Todd Severs will kick off once again. Following the Will McPartland 1-yard touchdown run. 48,411 fans on hand at the Orange Bowl for the Canes opener. Severs kick. Jermaine Martin about 4 yards deep, and he'll come out again. Martin shoved down by Andre Johnson. A Hurricane lost a helmet. Football's loose. Flag down. Martin picked it up again. And Daryl McClover is the Miami player who lost his hat and appears to be shaken up.
Looked like there was some holding by some of the guys in the white jerseys from McNeese State.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is just got to be really bothersome for Miami to get guys nicked up tonight. Let's take another look.
To the top right of your screen, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a couple people in white jerseys holding orange jerseys, and right there you see the helmet come right off of a Miami defensive player, special teams player.
David Williams, actually, of the Hurricanes, popped into McClover's jaw. And as a result, Martin got away.
On the kicking team during the return.
But it is a holding call against McNeese State. The concern right now is for the freshman out of Coconut Creek.
Timeout. Injured player.
I'll tell you, it's been a rough night for the Canes from an injury standpoint. Darrell looks like he's going to be all right. But I'll tell you what, Santana had been in and out of the game a couple times. Dan Morgan hasn't played at all in the 2nd half. Chris Campbell got looked at on the sideline. He probably won't be back in.
James Lewis.
James Scott got banged up. He had his ankle retaped. Brett Romberg limped off. In any case, it's 1st and 10 for McNeese from their 12. This is Pierce. Puts his head down and goes into the pile where he swarmed at the 14-yard line. Michael Allen now in at quarterback for McNeese. Javon Rhodes got a piece of that tackle, as did Kenny Dangerfield, who in his very first collegiate start's done a pretty nice job tonight, John.
He really has. I'm really impressed with the young linebackers for Miami. As you take a look at Michael Allen, he's a sophomore out of Houston, Texas. He'll replace Nagel. In the first quarter, Nagel was 8 of 13 for 48 yards, and since that time, any passer from McNeese State, and that means Slade Nagel, he's 2 of 7 for 23 yards and 2 picks. So the Miami defense really turning up the heat a little bit on the quarterbacking of McNeese State.
I think the official, Penn Wagers there, just had a little talk with two captains, Leonard Myers of Miami, and said, guys, let's cut out the nonsense after the play. There's really no reason for it. And the game's out of hand. Let's not get crazy. Pierce the only running back. Allen with the fake to him. Allen on the rollout, chased by Dangerfield, and bounces his pass intended for Marcus Turner. Incomplete up at the 23-yard line.
Michael Allen did a nice job of getting the defensive players on the right side, the wide side of the field for the Hurricanes to really commit to the fake, but he didn't have enough speed to outrun the linebacking core to get his shoulders turned up to deliver that pass, but that was a nice setup of the play, just couldn't deliver on the end.
Javon Rhodes, Clint Hurt, Matt Walters, and Cornelius Green, the junior college transfer, now make up the Miami front four. Chris Campbell back in the game for Miami. That's good news. Vilma, the middle linebacker, and Dangerfield. And there's movement before the snap. Penalty flags down. James Hardelick, number 77, the right tackle, appeared to be the guilty party.
Should be the right side of the screen down below here. You see both the guard and the tackle moving at the same time. Zach Quinlan also inside at the right guard, flinching a little bit, and that'll move him back 5 yards, but the officials are still talking about it. They haven't been able to make a decision all night.
You saw Clint Hurt in the middle make a little bit of a move, but that just looked like a start. He didn't appear to penetrate the neutral zone, which, as I understand it, is not a penalty on the defense because it was a football-related move. Now, maybe I'm out in left field on this one, but
no one has ever accused you of that, Frank. Might be in there.
They'll mark off 5 yards.
To the snap. False start on air
in front, 47-7. Butch Davis on the sideline, I'm sure, telling his guys, look, let's stay disciplined, let's stay focused, let's not get sloppy.
And that's what Greg Schiano was saying before the football game. He wanted to see the level of his defense, of where they line up and getting in the right spots. And that goes for the second and third team guys that are in right now.
3rd and 13. Allen throwing it to the outside, and he beat Mike Rumpf. Marcus Turner with the catch, and a 21-yard gain.
That's a very tough throw from one hash all the way to the other sidelines, but made it look easy. Michael Allen did a nice job getting to Marcus Turner, and again, Marcus Turner, credit him. He left himself enough room to the wide side of the field where he could press Michael Rumpf inside and then go and get the football to the outside. Made sure he was in bounds, and the sideline of McNeese State very excited about that play. That was a nice pitch and catch to the outside.
First down for the Cowboys with 5:50 to go third quarter. Britt Broadhead, number 4, is split to the bottom of the screen. First action for him tonight. Pierce the tailback. And it's Pierce with the football. Pierce breaking through to the 40. Up to the 45-yard line. He picked up 15 before Chris Campbell made the tackle, and a penalty flag back at the 31-yard line of the Cowboys. Holding on McNeese, so that'll wipe out the game. And they'll bring it back toward the McNeese goal line. Tommy Tate can only shake his head. Say, what time does the plane leave?
That's right, and on the sidelines for Miami, I think Sands warming up to see his first action as a collegiate quarterback for the University of Miami, probably on the next series. You see in the hometown, Carroll City. It's also the high school he went to, and he led that team to a state championship.
Two state championships, back-to-back, in fact, and some memorable games on this very field in the Orange Bowl in the playoffs. So the penalty takes it back to the McNeese 21-yard line. It'll bring up a 1st and 19. Spot of the foul was a yard beyond the line of scrimmage. Allen faking and rolling out and under pressure. Chased by Clint Hurt, and Clint runs him down from behind right about the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Another flag, a late flag on the play.
Well, if this is on Miami, this is just what Butch is talking about. Stay focused and stay. And it is a personal foul on a late hit. And just no need for that. Although you do have some young guys in the game that are flying around trying to make an impression.
They've been hitting each other for a long time this summer, and it's good to see him out on the field and getting excited and getting around the football. But I'm sure Butch Davis and his defensive staff want to stay away from the dumb penalty, the penalty after the play.
15-yard penalty.
One of Miami's backups, a walk-on, Julio Jimenez, number 46. He has injured a knee and is being checked by the training staff on the sideline. So more bumps and bruises for the Hurricanes. It'll be an automatic first down at the 37-yard line for McNeese State. 5:08 to go third quarter. Canes up 47-7. Watt, the fullback. Here's the tailback behind Michael Allen. Play fake. Allen being chased by Cornelius Green. His pass is caught by the backup tight end George Thompson, number 84. That's out close to first down yardage. He'll be just shy.
Really, Michael Allen had his choice. Thompson, the tight end, and also Britt Broadhead, one of the wide receivers, running really the same pattern, had a choice to pick out which one he wanted to throw to. I guess he's tighter with George than he is with Britt.
2nd and 1 upcoming. Look at the Miami defense with Walters and Wilson in there at defensive tackle now for the Canes. This is Pierce. Pierce picks his way through to midfield and has enough for the first down. Again, Ken Dangerfield and Chris Campbell combined on the tackle for the Hurricanes. The Cowboys move the sticks with 4:22 to go third quarter.
I'll tell you what, Frank, McNeese State, they have Prairie View next in their schedule, and I feel sorry for Prairie View. They've had woes of their own, but this is a pretty good football team. They look like they do things very soundly, very well coached. They haven't been penalized a lot. They try to move the football, quick 3-step drops. They throw a lot of screens. They do a lot of nice things offensively.
From midfield, it's 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. It's Broadhead in motion. Pitch to Pierce. Pierce into Miami territory where Jonathan Vilma makes the tackle after a 3-yard gain. Ken Dangerfield also helping out, number 47. Jonathan Vilma seeing a lot of action tonight. He'll wind up playing about 2.5 quarters with the injury to Dan Morgan, who appeared to have a concussion or some sort of neck stinger.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dan Morgan out of the football game with an injury, but fortunate for some of the younger linebackers to get in and play, and Vilma's done a terrific job finding the football. You really like his tenacity and the way he finds the football and finds the ball carrier.
Very smart kid also. Get into that a little bit more in a moment as we have a 2nd and 7 for McNeese. Allen gives it to Pierce. Pierce is met at the line of scrimmage, spins forward for about a yard. Chris Campbell, number 48, making the tackle along with Clint Hurt, number 99, in the Hurricane defensive front. Call it a gain of 2. It'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Cowboys. Jonathan Vilma out of Coral Gables High School, an International Baccalaureate Scholar.
A who?
International Baccalaureate Scholar. What that means is he's real smart.
all over the world. He's not only smart in his own household.
From the 46 of the Hurricanes, it's a 3rd and 6. Allen, 3-step drop. Pass is incomplete, intended for Thompson, his tight end, who couldn't hang on at the Miami 43. And Tommy Tate sends the punt team onto the field. With 2:32 left to go in the third quarter. Darrell Jones back at the Miami 10, set to return the kick of David Lotta. Darrell counting stars up there.
Trying to keep busy here with 47-7 with 2:32 left to go.
Keep the moon out of his eyes.
That's right.
Well, for lousy weather we had in the afternoon, the evening has been very pleasant weather-wise. The left footer's kick. Jones will run away from it, and it'll roll dead inside the Miami 10 at about the 7-yard line. That's where the Canes will start 1st and 10. And we see DJ Williams coming on the field at quarterback, and it appears that Ethnic Sands will take his first snaps as a Miami quarterback. 39 yards on the punt, and the Canes will take over 1st and 10 at the 7-yard line. We're going to take a timeout with 2:20 to go third quarter. Miami 47, McNeese State 7, back at the Orange Bowl in a minute.
My surgery was all about getting back to my old self. At Surgicare, I received exceptional care from their experienced professional staff. Since Surgicare of Lake Charles is designed exclusively for outpatient surgery, they were able to offer me a convenient, comfortable, and less costly alternative to a hospital. The center's warm surroundings and personal attention minimized the stress of my surgery and allowed me to complete my recovery in the comfort of my own home. So do what I did. Ask your physician, can I have my surgery at SurgiCare?
The Partners in Education are pleased to provide a network of support for teachers and students to enhance educational programs and boost the morale of the students. Citgo is proud to support the Career Center, E.K. Key Elementary, and Sulphur High School in a variety of projects to spark interest and increase student participation. Please help us support Partners in Education. Brought to you by Citgo and Fox 29.
2:20 left to go, third quarter. Miami with a 40-point lead, and Ethnic Sands will lead the second unit offense for the Canes. Take you through the lineup in just a moment after this first down play. But Portis has the football. Portis to the outside. Portis across the 10 and run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Rod Gully making the tackle along with Bruce Bolden. DJ Williams, the highly touted freshman, the true freshman from Concord, California, switched from linebacker to fullback at his request, by all accounts, is in at fullback. And the offensive line now from left to right is Joe McGrath, 67, Jim Wilson, 71, Scott Puckett, 63, Vernon Carey, 60, and Joe Fonagrassi, number 68. Andre Johnson and Darrell Jones, the wide receiver, on this 2nd and 4 play. Pitch to Portis. Nowhere to go, and he's going to go down back at the 6-yard line. Sean Williams, number 35, the junior out of Missouri City, Texas, making the tackle. That'll bring up 3rd and long for the Canes.
It looked like some miscommunication in the backfield. It looked like DJ went right and behind the line of scrimmage, resulting in a loss, but we'll see what happens here on 3rd and 11. It's good to see Ethnic Sands in the football game at quarterback to see what he can do in this type of situation, backed up in his own end.
Well, the coaches said you're going to see a little bit of that with DJ. He's only been at fullback for a week. Sands will give it to Portis on the delay. Clayton still on his feet, still going at the 15, it breaks free at the 25. He'll have a first down and nearly busted it all the way. Franz Williams, number 93, saved the touchdown.
We saw a lot of that last season. 838 yards from Clinton Portis in the 99 campaign. He averaged 5.9 every time he touched the football. You see DJ that time getting into the right spot, providing some blocking, and you never say die with this guy with the ball underneath his arm. He can go just about as good as any back Miami has, and he was a step away from going the distance, the sophomore from Gainesville.
18 yards for Portis out to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 Hurricanes. Portis again, trying to get to the corner, and he just puts his head down and runs into Rod Gully for about a 2-yard gain. That's one of those plays where the defense has it strung out. You just put your head down, get what you can get.
Well, that's the one thing that Don Solinger, the running backs coach, said about Clinton Portis this year. He got nasty. He got nasty with the attitude of blocking when people were coming in off the edge, and he got nasty running the football, and you saw a lot of that in the summer and the fall workouts, and he's bringing that to the table here late in the 3rd quarter.
2nd and 9 for Miami. Williams and Portis remain the running backs. Sands on the rollout. Flips it complete to DJ Williams across the 30. At the 35, cut down at the 37-yard line by Rod Gully. But DJ Williams with his first collegiate catch. And the fans like cheering it. That should bring the 3rd quarter to an end. The clock down to 7, 6, and now they're going to stop the clock while they move the chains. But DJ Williams on the completion moves it out to the 39-yard line. That's a pickup of 13 yards.
For Ethnic Sands as well.
So the clock stops. Has said that DJ Williams could potentially do to this fullback position what Alonzo Highsmith did for it in the early 80s.
He's got enormous legs, and he wanted to go and have an opportunity to play, and he felt like at the fullback into the football game. And you see Ethnic Sands as well. He's matured in his first at the quarterback position, so I'm sure he'll mature and get a player.
Well, there is a delay of some sort. And nothing apparent. Our end zone to the east. Well, the officials are looking that way, but nobody has signaled any timeout to our knowledge. Standing around with 5 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Somebody evidently did call a timeout, or something's going on in the end zone. It looks like the entire Miami offensive team now coming to the sideline.
A reason that is not apparent to us as you look at some of the fans here tonight. And we're told that, well, now the scoreboard clock is being reset. They've had to do that a couple times tonight.
Well, we had a beg earlier for a touchdown call. Now we can't get an explanation, Frank.
But there certainly were less than 18 seconds to go when the play was completed. And they're going to put it at 13. I guess the clock kept running even though they were going to reset the chains for the first down. That would be my best guess. And now they're going to start the clock. So we'll see if Miami even bothers to snap the ball as the third quarter will wind down. And Butch Davis says, no, just let it go. We're going to end the third quarter, lead it 47-7, and we'll start things up in the fourth quarter and get our reserves some more playing time. So the third quarter has come to an end here at the Orange Bowl. Miami adding 10 points onto their 37-7 halftime lead, and at the end of 3 periods, it's the Canes 47, McNeese State Cowboys 7. We'll be back for the fourth quarter at the Orange Bowl right after this.
At Boise Cascade, we see the forest for the trees. Trees that are used to build our homes and bring us the news of the world. Forests we renew by planting 6 trees for every one we harvest. Forests that provide natural shelter for Louisiana's wildlife. With our vision, together we'll grow well into the future, just like the forest we oversee. Boise Cascade, products you use from the environment we protect.
Summertime, summertime, summertime.
That's right, it's summertime hot out, folks, and so are the deals at Lake Charles Toyota. So come see us for sizzling summer savings on all our inventory. We got a great selection and low prices like 2000 Camry CEs with air, automatic, power windows and locks, just $7014 for just $17,995. So don't go walking that sizzling sidewalk. Come to Lake Charles Toyota for sizzling summer saving specials. So get a hot deal on some cool wheels and spend the rest of your summertime chilling out.
The Partners in Education are pleased to provide a network of support for teachers and students to enhance educational programs and boost the morale of the students. Projects to spark interest and increase student participation. Please help us support Partners in Education. Brought to you by Citgo and Fox 29.
What is Service Master Clean? It's as tough as making sure your carpets always look their best. Do too. It's responding quickly to get fire and water damage out of your home, while keeping what you want in your home. That's Service Master Clean. Service Master by Jack. Call 478-1133.
Start of the fourth quarter at the Orange Bowl, and the cups arranged in a UM by the trainers as we get back to action. Ethnic Sands moving around in the pocket, fires over the middle, intended for Andre John. Good coverage. I guess the student trainers are with those cups now.
I thought some people got hurt tonight. It didn't look like it. They got a lot of time on their hands. Look at that. They said, oh, if you're thirsty.
Orange Gatorade. 2nd and 10 for the Canes. Darryl Jones and Andre Johnson split to the bottom of your screen. On the rollout, Ethnic Sands has Darryl Jones open at the 43. Good job to avoid it. McNeese State has it at their 46-yard line. And the first turnover of the night for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, just a sprint out to his right side. Ethnic Sands of cutting back inside. The only problem is he got a hand right on the football right there. Free safety ends up Canes.
One continues at quarterback. No, I'm sorry, it's Slade Nate. Burton runs into a stone wall right at the line of scrimmage. A ton of Hurricanes in there. Jonathan Vilma and Clint Hurt getting up off the bottom of the pile. Good to see Clint Hurt out there. Here's a young man who unfortunately has lived up to his surname. He's had 4 surgeries over the past. Hoping to be a contributor this year. He's definitely got the size to play that inside tackle position.
And the ability.
He just has to stay healthy. 2nd and 10. Nagel, again the 3-step drop, quick completion to Redmond, gets into Miami territory and picks up about 7 yards. Bring up a 3rd and 3. That's Jermel Weaver, number 58, out there getting in on the tackle. Jarrell Weaver, excuse me, the twin of Jermel, who tore a pec muscle lifting weights right before training camp started. And it appears that Jermel might be out for the year. They were the twin terrors at Miami Northwestern High School, a pair of defensive ends on the light side, so they are linebackers at the University of Miami. This is a 3rd and a short 3. Nagel complete to Burton. He's wide open down the sideline, and Aaron Mosier finally pushed him out. at the 24-yard line of the Hurricanes.
Yeah, it looked like there was some confusion with personnel coming in and out of the football game. And that led to someone looking at the sidelines or looking at the huddle saying, hey, who had that guy? The third guy out weak. Both receivers coming down on the inside. And it was an easy pitch and catch to the outside. And you see the defensive staff on the sidelines trying to figure that out as well.
Greg Schiano in your screen, the defensive coordinator in his second year here at UM. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys from the 24. Redmond in motion. Nagel pitches it to Burton, and Clint Hurt there for the tackle, laying the smackdown on Jesse Burton for a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Jesse Burton with that helpless big number 99. Clint Hurt was on the inside, just destroys the center. Jackson, big number 99, was there to welcome him to the ground.
A good look at Clint Hurt. Junior 6'3", 210 Miami with a late substitution on the defense. So Nagel wisely throws it out there to Jermaine Martin. Well, that is just poor game management or poor recognition on the part of the Hurricane defensive player.
That's exactly what Ken Dorsey, Wayne, but there was no one lined the same. Nobody's out here, and he out-races Fitzgerald to the...
Nagel to Jermaine Martin from 27 yards. And Hebert adds the extra point. Charlie Hebert's kick is good, and with 12:35 left to go for 14. Now, Greg got to be bothered by the lack of focus from his defenders as they leave a guy wide open. 12:35 to go in the fourth quarter. It's 47-14 Miami.
Lake Charles Yamaha has motorcycles, ATVs, and watercraft. But do you really? Indiana, 20,000 square feet of nothing but boats. Skeeter bass boats, Voyager pontoons, Bay Stealth, and Pathfinder Bay boats. Legend Best. Check out the Vindicator by VIP. With over 100 boats in stock, come down to Lake Charles Yamaha and let us get to Ryan.
We've never needed a mortgage before, and everyone warned us, be prepared to ransom your firstborn child. One bank told us our options: down payments, interest rates, 15-year versus 30. Everything to make us smart about mortgages.
And to make us homeowners.
Without giving up NAG.
It's what we do best. Cameron State Bank. Personal banking at its best.
Watchbox.com. The website.
47-14 with Andre Johnson. This will be Andre Johnson from the 3. Johnson to the 1st and 10. Number 43, Donnie Pitts, along with Brad Archie, number 40, making the tackle for McNeese State on the kickoff coverage unit. And Ethnic Sands will lead the Hurricane offense onto the field. Back to that last Miami defensive series. Again, granted, it's the second stringers, but 2 out of the last 3 plays, they were late substituting. And then just somebody from the 24 has his he lost the football, but got it back at the 43-yard.
Nice play that time by Ethnic Sands, leaving the pocket again after the play action, working his fullback out in the flat, throw out, gets it stripped from behind, but then falls right back on it, an alert play. You can see he was disappointed that he let the ball get out of his hands the first time, but luckily enough for the Hurricanes, he's back on at the second.
3 out of 4 for Ethnic, 49 yards. He's getting a little sloppy for the back. Pitches to Portis. Portis behind a good Joe McGrath block, and Portis into McNeese territory yard line of the Cowboys.
Gotta love the effort displayed that time by Clinton Portis. He just will not go down. He really never carried that time, a very deserved blocking on the perimeter, on the outside. Great blocks. The receivers at the side. He just gets tripped up at the end that time by number 58, looked like on the outside.
11:35 to go in the football game. Ethnic Sands gives it to Portis, and Portis wrapped up from behind by Sean from Missouri City, Texas. With 11 in the first quarter was 7-7, then Miami scored the next 40 points. Jason Gathers and Andre Johnson, the wide receivers in the formation for the Canes on this 2nd and 10. Sands to throw it. Going deep down the middle, Andre Johnson wide open with the 32-yard touchdown strike to the redshirt freshman out of Miami High School, Andre Johnson.
Beautiful post pattern and a nice delivery of the football that time by the quarterback, Ethnic Sands. No one around in the middle of the football field. Just a perfect setup to the waiting arms of number 5, Andre Johnson. He blocked very well on the play before for Clinton Portis.
Not more than good. Team lead. A minute 55 off the clock. We'll take a timeout with 10:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Canes lead it 54-14.
As we close out the biggest sales year in our history, come save big on the #1 selling car in all of Lake Charles, the Honda Accord. Plus, choose from a tremendous selection of new Honda Civics, CRVs, and Passports, all with 4.9, with prices we challenge any dealer in America to beat. At Billy Navarre Honda, I-210.
You know, my surgery, I received exceptional care from their experience exclusively for outpatient surgery. They were able to offer me a big hospital, the rest of my surgery, and allowed me to. So do what I did. Ask your doctor, can I have my surgery at SurgiCare?
Miami with the 40-point was converted by a walk. Confess I am not familiar with. Jesse Oliger will kick off. He is supposed to be the backup kicker, but Jesse did not attempt that last conversion. Here's Oliger's kick. It's high and short. Taken by Lemons, and he fumbled it, and it looks like Miami got the football. And they do.
Looked like Michael Stewart.
Michael Stewart, another walk-on, makes the recovery.
Feeling good about himself, too. Look at all the boys around him. You see, getting congratulations for a heads-up play.
This is not in any way to belittle Michael Stewart, but on that wide receiving core, he is the Volkswagen among the Ferraris.
I would think so, but every player has his moment in the sunshine, and this time at night underneath the lights, he's in the right spot at the right time, hustling down on special teams. You see him right there. Takes a little punishment for it, but I bet he feels good about it.
There's a guy who goes out there every day in practice, works just as hard as everybody else, and getting a chance to play. Portis met in the hole. He'll go down for a loss of a yard. 22 to go in the football game. James Roden, number 96, credited with the last tackle, helped out by Joseph Ramey, number 60.
You see Ethnic Sands in your picture right there. The first.
Gathers and Johnson split to the top of your screen. With time, finds DJ Williams inside the 20-yard line, stepped out at the 19 and a pass.
From our officials will be in business. There
well,
we
by
go.
the way, Penn's mic is official. His mic is completely dead. 24-yard line, so they'll march it off against Miami. It is holding against the Canes, and that'll move it back to the 35. Second and long, about 21.
Second down.
9:47 left to go. Up to the line of scrimmage, the 3 wide receivers in the football game for Miami. Gathers, Jones in the slot, and Andre Johnson to the bottom of your screen. Sands with the straight drop and a quarterback draw, and it busts wide open for him. Ethnic will slide down wisely at the 21-yard line as he picked up about 14 on the quarterback draw. Hadley Prince made sure he stayed down.
Now, I know Ethnic Sands is fast, actually 5 steps in the backfield, and then he is gone. Everybody else is in slow motion. I know it's at the end of the game right now, and Ethnic's only played maybe a quarter, but a great play out of the quarterback spot by Sands.
It'll be 3rd down for the Canes and about 7. The line to gain is the McNeese State 14. Sands on the straight drop. Flips it over the middle, complete to DJ Williams, breaking tackles, and DJ down to the 6-yard line where he has a Miami 1st down and a flag again back in the Miami backfield, and it'll be holding on the Canes. It appears Joe McGrath, number 67, will be called for a 2nd holding penalty on this drive.
Well, this is where sometimes the offensive lineman, it's 8:58 left to go in the football game, kind of doing your job. That time, possibly McGrath, who was called for the hold, but it negates a great play. A little dump pass down to DJ Williams, who made a great effort to get close to the end zone.
From that famous hockey town of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Hacky. I've been there. I've been there.
You've been to Moose Jaw?
Oh, man, I've been to Moose Jaw.
Wait a minute. Step back for a second. You got to tell this story.
I am not. What?
You got to tell this story.
Well, I was flying into Saskatchewan in our plane when I was playing in the Canadian Football League. They had to divert it to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and I thought that was the end of the earth until I got to Saskatchewan.
Clock moving with 8:45 to go. It's 3rd and 17 for Miami. Sands will throw it over the middle and dropped by Shockey, the tight end. That was some nice touch on that throw, and it would have been good enough for a 1st down. Ryan Garrison had the coverage. Nice touch on the Sands throw, John.
Real nice touch, especially over the middle. You got linebackers going behind you, and you got a big target in there, Jeremy Shockey. He's 6'6", but you want to drop it in a bucket. Ethnic Sands does a nice job. Knew the coverage. There's nobody over the top, so he can afford to put a little air under the football. A nice throw. You got to come up with that tough catch.
Lundy will come on to try a 49-yard field goal out of the hole, but it is no good wide left. And McNeese State will take ball. Miami leading at 54-14. Butch Davis on the sideline with his coaches trying to get these young guys the experience that they're going to so desperately need as the season goes along. And hopefully tonight is no indication as far as injuries are concerned. The Canes have suffered, well, nothing major that we know of, but a lot of bumps and bruises and the kind of thing that takes guys out of a ball game.
Well, Butch Davis wanted this game just to McNeese State has been very formidable. They've done a nice job early in this football game. They just don't have enough depth.
A rollout, throwing complete to number 85, Jeff Hamilton. And he is taken out of bounds after picking up a first down by James Lewis, number 23. Pickup was 11, and that is a McNeese first down.
Yeah, you have to wonder, Dan Morgan, the severity of that injury. You have to have him back because, you know, he's a playmaker on defense. And I think Butch Davis is glad right now they have the couple extra days to work out the kinks before they have to get ready for Washington.
That's precisely why you wanted a game on a Thursday night, because the Canes are going to travel out to Washington a day early. They're going to leave on Thursday as opposed to the normal Friday. Allen again with play fake. Throwing outside, knocked down, incomplete by Marquise Fitzgerald, who had excellent coverage on Huey Gardner, number 11, the wide receiver.
It looked like Huey Gardner actually ran into B.J. Sams, the other wide receiver on the outside. That allowed number 27, Marquise Fitzgerald, to try to step in front of this little out route. Marquise last year had 1 interception. He had 31 total tackles. He's great on special teams, and he's a gamer. He's a good player.
Junior out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Dixie Collins High School. 2nd and 10 for McNeese with 8:01 left to go in the football game. Allen under center. Pitches it back to Pierce, and he avoids tacklers and then is tripped up by Jonathan Vilma after a pickup of about 6. Nice move in the hole by Pierce.
Yeah, big time move right in between 2 tacklers from UM. 2 orange jerseys looked like they were closing in on Aaron Pierce. He just sidestepped both of them for positive yardage. Right side of your screen, watch this. Big number 95 to the outside and 98 to the inside, Cornelius Green. And Aaron Pierce does a nice job of sidestepping both of them for positive yardage.
Cornelius Green and Howard Clark both in unblocked, really, but failed to make the play. 3rd and 4 for the Cowboys. Allen, 3-step drop, going to throw it deep and overthrows his receiver. That's Huey Gardner down at the 30-yard line of the Canes as make it B.J. Sams, number 12. Sams had beaten Marquise Fitzgerald, but the throw from Allen well off the mark.
Yeah, it looked like Marquise was peeking in the offensive backfield that time, trying to get an advantage on the quick hitch, and actually ran right by him.
Darrell Jones back to receive the punt from this gentleman, David Lotta. He's had a busy night. High snap. Lotta brings it down and does get the punt off. A low line drive that Jones will field at the 14. Jones getting away from the first wave, trying to get to the sideline and runs out of space at the 17-yard line of the Hurricanes. That's where Miami will take over 1st and 10. Credit Aaron Pierce with running Jones out of bounds on the special teams tackle for McNeese State. 7:07 to go. And the Canes with a 54-14 lead. Total yardage tonight, Miami 525, McNeese 342. And that latter figure is something that Greg Schiano will be addressing in no uncertain terms, I'm sure, as the Canes get ready for Washington.
Definitely, especially early in this football game. You had to wonder, that defensive line was getting pushed around a little bit, and you have to wonder they're going to have to bone up a little bit more against Washington because they do run the football very effectively, and they've got a quarterback that will press the corner on them.
Manu Tuiasosopo, the Washington quarterback, and he is a good one. The Huskies, in fact, are co-favorites with USC to win the Pacific Conference Championship. This is Clinton Portis behind some nice blocking. Clinton Portis 40, 50, inside McNeese territory. Can they run him down? No, they cannot. Clinton Portis to the house from 82 yards away.
Great job by Clinton Portis setting up in the last block by Jason Gathers, the wide receiver at about the 30-yard line, the Miami 30-yard line. He tiptoed behind him, dipped outside, and then used his speed to the inside, and he goes the distance. Watch this on the right side. Great block at the point of attack, but right here, he tiptoes out and then goes back in. Actually, it was number 5, Andre Johnson, to the outside, who set up Portis on the outside. Now it's just a foot race. He outruns every defender in a white jersey. Portis in for the score.
Clinton Portis, he is explosive as well. Severs on to attempt the extra point, and it is good. And Miami with a 61-14 lead with 6:50 left to go, and they're now up over 600 yards in total offense. There's timeout on the field with 6:50 left to go. Clinton Portis with the explosion. Miami leads it 61-14.
At Boise Cascade, we see the forest for the trees. Trees that are used to build our homes and bring us the news of the world. Forests we renew by planting 6 trees for every one we harvest. Forests that provide natural shelter for Louisiana's wildlife. With our vision, together we'll grow well into the future, just like the forest we oversee. Boise Cascade, products you use from the environment we protect.
Summertime, summertime, summertime.
That's right, it's summertime hot out, folks, and so are the deals at Lake Charles Toyota. So come see us for sizzling summer savings on all our inventory. We got a great selection and low prices on Tundra, Avalon, Sienna, and 4Runner. Or how about our 2000 RAV4, stock number 2616, just $17,995. So don't go walking that sizzling sidewalk. Come to Lake Charles Toyota for sizzling summer savings special. So get a hot deal on some cool wheels and spend the rest of your summertime chilling out.
Butch Davis watching his team go out to a 61-14 lead. Clinton Portis with the 82-yard touchdown run. Earlier this week, the running backs coach Don Solinger was telling me 61 points, the most by Miami since the September 1998 game against East Tennessee State. I asked Don Solinger, the running backs coach, who's responsible for all his talent, said if the guys started hiring their own lobbyists for playing time, he said Clinton's his own lobbyist. He tells the other backs, if you let me on the field, you might not get back on.
He doesn't need anybody else.
Hollinger's kick fielded by Turner. Turner dancing around at the 20, and he'll go down at the 22-yard line. Alfonso Marshall, number 43, along with David Williams, number 82, a couple of true freshmen for Miami making the tackle. They'll mark it at the 21-yard line. That's where McNeese will start 1st and 10. And Michael Allen returns to the field. Quarterbacking McNeese State with 6:38 left to go. And that is not an enviable task.
No.
Turner and Broadhead, the wide receivers in the football game for the Cowboys. And Burton is the running back. Fake to Burton.
Wide open.
Allen firing complete to his fullback, Lawton. And Luke Lawton running over one tackler and finally forced out of bounds by James Lewis at the 32-yard line. That is enough for 12 yards and a first down.
Well, Luke Lawton is the only guy in here saying this game's not over. I got the ball in my hand. I'm going to lower the boom on somebody. And that boom was lowered on Marquise Fitzgerald. As he goes to the sideline, it looked like his shoulder pad having a problem with the strap, but that was a great play on the outside by Luke Lawton. You see there, a 6', 224-pound freshman out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
Well, 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Miami playing their subs pretty much the whole way here in the second half on defense. 1st and 10 from the 33. Burton with the football. And he is down right about the line of scrimmage. Jarvis Gray, walk-on from Fort Lauderdale, number 61, making the tackle. Seeing his first collegiate action. It'll be 2nd and 10 for McNeese. Clock moving, thankfully, with 6:06 to go.
Right.
A lot of young guys in there for Miami. Alfonso Marshall in at the corner, the true freshman from Clewiston. Here's Allen with the play fake. Allen firing, and that ball is almost picked off by Marquise Fitzgerald, but I think they're going to get Fitzgerald for a hold.
Looked like there was some pushing and shoving coming out of that route to the outside. Marquise might have had a fistful of jersey with his left hand while he was defending with his right hand.
Well, I could see it from up here, so I would guess the officials might be able to see it. Though in our careers, John, that hasn't always been the case.
No, it hasn't always worked out that way. But you see right there, it looked like Marquise had the left hand on the back of the receiver, number 4, Broadhead. See right there, he had the right hand, he tugged it first, and then he bumped him a little bit, trying to make the aggressive play, but definitely was a penalty.
It's called pass interference on Miami and offside against McNeese, so the play will be nullified. So we'll go in the time machine, we'll go back a play,
like it
nothing
never
happened. It'll still be 2nd and 10 for McNeese. Total yardage, Miami up over 600. And the Cowboys with a very respectable 354 against this Miami defense.
And they got a lot of that during the first half when the starters were in, Frank.
They had 232 at the half. So on 2nd and 10, Allen will try it again. Inside handoff to the wide receiver Turner. He turns the corner and picks up nearly 10 yards. John Vilma in on the tackle along with Jarvis Gray. And will bring up a 3rd and about a yard. Troy Prazek warming up on the Miami sideline, number 3 quarterback. And hopefully he's going to get a chance to play. Saw some action last year.
Yeah, it looks like Sands' night's over. Had a very successful debut as a backup quarterback coming in. And Troy Prazek, as you said, Frank, got a little playing time last season. And he'll get about 5 minutes worth this season.
Did throw a touchdown pass last year as well. On 3rd and 1. We'll give it to Burton. And Burton has the first down and some more as he gets up across midfield to the Miami 47-yard line. Aaron Mosier, number 26, making the tackle, but another pickup of 9 and a first down.
Well, as we said, I think Sands was 4 for 6 for 78 yards and 1 touchdown, but there's a gentleman right there. Didn't get to play a lot in the first half, but the second half he had nothing to hang his head about. 8 rushes for 125 yards and 1 touchdown. That 82-yard run was the 5th longest run from scrimmage in UM history. And like you said, once he gets on the field, it's tough to get him out, Frank.
First down from the Miami 46-yard line. 4:44 left to go in this game. Allen fakes it under some pressure. Flips out complete to Lemons, his fullback, and Lemons tripped up inside the Miami 35-yard line.
Looks like James Scott on the sideline, who made the tackle, still down. Might have had a burner. Went down low and looked like hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, he's already had his ankle taped, retaped. And the McNeese trainer is getting over there to help Scott as he is in a little bit of trouble while the Miami trainers get there.
Yeah, just the fullback in the short flat, number 39, looked like Charlie Lemons, but actually goes down low. Really hurt himself trying to take the legs out from under him. Looked like James Scott really might have threw a shoulder or something in there.
Could be a thigh or a hamstring. They were massaging his right leg, and you can see James.
Yeah, there you go.
A little stiff. Looks like the Charlie horse.
Well, it started in the shoulder and kind of worked its way down.
It is a McNeese first down at the Miami 32-yard line as that last play picked up 14. 4 minutes, 33 seconds left. I don't mean, you know, he's obviously got a Charlie horse or a cramp, but it just looks funny the way he was running. And now he's grabbing the hamstring. Now, James has been asked to do a lot of things in his UM career. Came here as a wide receiver, switched to defensive back, played a little running back last season when the Canes were banged up. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys from the Hurricane 32. This is Burton again. He'll pick up 2, maybe 3 yards. And a late penalty flag comes in. James Lewis in on the tackle along with Carlos Joseph and Jonathan Vilma. Matt Gore now the quarterback for McNeese.
Looks like it's going to be a personal foul against McNeese State. Looked like Aaron Moser was on his back at the end of that play.
Yeah, Jeff Hamilton hit him just after the whistle, wiped him out. So this will cost the Cowboys 15 yards. Tommy Tate
is still
wondering, why are you guys taking penalties?
That's right.
When we're down 61-14 with 4 minutes to go. Dead ball, personal foul. I'll do the lip reading here, John. It's okay.
You got it.
15-yard penalty. Again, our official's microphone is completely out. So maybe we ought to do it like one of those old, Japanese monster movies where we'll let his lips go and then we'll wait 2 seconds and we'll talk.
We're on delay.
Back to the 44-yard line, the penalty marked off. It'll bring up a second down and about 21 yards. Gore on a play fake. Under pressure. Firing and nearly intercepted by the Hurricanes. Vilma and James Lewis both in the area and both had a little bit of the football along with Jarrell Weaver, number 58. Jason Taylor, the tight end, was the intended target. Not the Dolphin defensive end, the McNeese tight end.
And Matt Gore at quarterback now for the Cowboys, number 14. You see entering the huddle with the play from the sidelines.
On 3rd and 22. Gore out of the shotgun. Blitz coming, inside pitch, complete on the screen pass to Sams. And B.J. Sams takes it down to the 28-yard line, but that's going to be short of a first down by about 5 yards. James Lewis with the tackle for the Hurricanes, and that'll bring up a 4th down, and they're going to send Charlie Hebert onto the field to attempt a field goal, apparently. Last play picked up 17. And Gore will hold at about the 34-yard line, making it a 44-yard try for Charlie Hebert. Low snap, but he got it down, and Hebert's kick barely got off the ground and is no good. So Miami will take over with 3:04 left to go, and the Canes leading at 61-14. And plenty of Miami subs on the field, including Troy Prazek, number 19 at quarterback. Clinton Portis in the game at tailback. Jarrett Payton, by the way, the number 4 tailback, has an ankle sprain, and he was not available for action tonight. I'll tell you what, the kid they've got at the number 5 tailback, Willis McGahee, out of Miami Central High School.
Pretty deep at the tailback position.
That kid is going to be something special,
I know.
too. So here's Troy Prazek under center for the Canes, with DJ Williams and Portis lined up behind him. Anthony Johnson in motion. And Prazek will throw it. Going for his tight end David Williams as he was grabbed, and the penalty flag comes flying out. Number 36 Willie D'Artes, guilty of the pass interference.
Yeah, just a little shove on the outside. That was just enough to draw the flag. As you said, David Williams going down the right side. They've had success, Miami has, on that short flat play to the fullback and the tight end. It's a high-low. That time a good decision by Prazek.
Pass interference on the defense is the call. David Williams, another of the true free. You see the grab right there by D'Artes, who then takes his hands away and gives it the wrestling. No.
Wasn't I?
Well, the penalty will move it up to the Miami 43-yard line. 1st and 10 with 2:57 to go. David Williams, by getting back to him, comes out of a program, Miami Northwestern. And there's the Grim Ibis.
That's right. Has that face.
David Williams comes out of Miami Northwestern, which doesn't throw very much to the tight end, but he is a devastating blocker. And the Cane coaching staff really has high hopes for David Williams. There's DJ Williams with his first collegiate carry, and he'll pick up about 2 yards. Joseph Ramey on the tackle, number 60. So DJ's first carry nets 2 yards. He's already caught.
Yeah, big catch. Like him in open space. You know, he has that tailback mentality. That's the position he had in high school, and once he gets in open space, really gives you that dimension of there's really no fullback on the football field.
Here's a guy who scored something like 44 touchdowns last year from a tailback spot, but everybody recruited him at his other position, linebacker. 2nd and 8 for Miami. Prazek flips it out and dropped by DJ Williams. Throw was behind him, but he had his hands on it.
Yeah, it would have been a tough catch. He tried to do it all in one turn, catch the football and keep going up the field. Good try by DJ, and that's a tough play. Just tried to get it close, but the ball was delivered behind him.
So it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Canes from their 45-yard line. Frank Fort and John Congemi with you on Fox Sports Net, as we will be the vast majority of the year, bringing you these Hurricane football games. 1,018 yards in offense tonight, both teams combined.
That was my guess.
So we got a grand. You win the pool, John?
Yeah.
3rd and 8 for the Canes. Prazek with the straight drop. And throws complete to Anthony Johnson at the 41-yard line of McNeese State. First college reception for Anthony Johnson, the redshirt freshman out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
A lot of firsts tonight for the Canes. That time, number 81, Anthony Johnson, making himself large on the curl pattern, just coming back through the hole. And a nice shot by Prasek, staying in the pocket, delivering it downfield. A lot of high fives on the sideline for that young wide receiver.
Gain was 15 yards and a Miami first down. From the McNeese 40-yard line. Michael Stewart now in at wide receiver for the Hurricanes. He's set to the bottom of the screen. Walk on from Cranston, Rhode Island. Prasek. Throwing it deep, going for Gathers, and that ball knocked down incomplete by number 35, Sean, the area where the pass came down. So it has been a penalty-filled second half. Defensive pass interference again, the call. And the Canes will have another first down. Number 3, Jason Gathers out of Spanish River High School in Boca Raton, one of the most highly recruited athletes in all the country last year. But he had problems with the equivalency test, or the competency test, that you have to take in the state of Florida to get your high school diploma. So he wasn't eligible to report to the Canes last year. Spent the year just working out, working some jobs to get some money, and reported with this new freshman class in 2000. And he's about 6'3", 215. And Andre Johnson on the other side is about 6'3" and 220 or 25.
Just your average size for
Just your average receivers, right? Here's Clinton Portis picking his way through. And Clinton will pick up about 8 yards inside the 20-yard line to the 17. Hey! Ryan Garrison, the linebacker, making the tackle. 1:30 left to go in the football game. Hurricanes in complete control, as they have been most of the night. McNeese did throw a bit of a scare in them when they moved the football down the field on their first possession and tied the game at 7-7 after Miami had scored off the opening kickoff. There's a look at the penalties tonight. Most of those coming here in the second half. From the 17-yard line, it's a 2nd and 3 for Miami. Nick Nettles in the game at fullback for the Canes, and Prasek will take a knee, and the Canes are just going to run out the clock.
And Clinton Portis is trying to lobby, saying, hey, there's still 52 seconds left. I got 9 rushes for 133 yards tonight, 1 score. Get me in the end zone again. But as you can see, Butch Davis is pointing down to the 25-second clock, saying, Troy, take it down to 1, snap the ball, and put it on a knee.
Well, Miami will run out the clock, as Prasek, I'm sure, will take a knee once again. And the game will go into the books as a 61-14 Miami victory. And Prasek will once again put it down. And Miami will win this football game. 17 seconds left to go, and they'll let the clock run out as the Hurricanes open the 2000 season Y2 Cane with a 61-14 victory over McNeese State. A couple areas of concern for Miami. Some guys got nicked up tonight, and hopefully they'll be all right. And the run defense should have been better. You see Butch Davis ducking at the sound of that cannon that gets shot off by one of the fraternities. And Miami will be ducking and throwing punches against Washington in 10 days. The final from the Orange Bowl, 61 for the Hurricanes, 14 for McNeese State.